championship.
The hallowed grounds of Paulson Stadium. For years, the road to the FCS championship has traveled along the Eagle Creek path, and the defense of this prize fortress for Georgia Southern has been unmatched. 6 national championships for this proud Eagle program. Central Arkansas doesn't care about the past. For the Bears, the future is now. It's a second-round FCS clash next. The Eagles and the Bears. It's a beautiful day in Statesboro, Georgia. Paulson Stadium, the setting for the championship college football matchup. Second round FCS playoff as the champions of the Southland Conference, Central Arkansas, gets set to take on the champs of the SoCon perennial power, Georgia Southern. Take a look at the brackets. We are down to 16 after today. It gets cut in half. Winner of this game will take on the winner of Old Dominion in Coastal Carolina. North Dakota State, the defending champs, still lurking at the top half of the bracket. Hi, everybody. Sean Kenny alongside former North Carolina head coach John Bunning. Welcome to the FCS playoffs on ESPN3. Coach, Georgia Southern has laid the blueprint for success at the FCS level. 19 playoff appearances, 12 semifinals, 6 national championships since Irk Russell brought football back to Statesboro back in 1982.
And what fun we will have today. We have polar opposites in offensive styles, but both teams have first-year dynamic leaders at quarterback. Former cornerback Jarek McKinnon will lead the multiple formation and multiple option attack for Georgia Southern.
Central Arkansas is the new kid on the block, but boy, has it ever been a smooth transition for the Bears, all the way from the NAIA to Division II and now to the Division I ranks. Here they are in the playoffs for the second year. They've only been eligible 3 years for postseason play.
And for Central Arkansas, we have Winrick Smothers, dual threat Southland Conference Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, throwing the football to 7 or 8 different receivers into the very sophisticated Bear offense.
The winds of time certainly changing here at Georgia Southern. Rumor has it the FBS might be calling soon. If this is the final hurrah, Eagle fans want to hoist the FCS championship one more time. Kickoff coming up next.
Division I student athletes have higher SAT and ACT scores than college-bound students.
The number of us receiving diplomas
is at an all-time high.
African American males who are student athletes
are 10% more likely to graduate.
Still think we're just a bunch of dumb jocks?
You need to do your homework.
There are over 400,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sport.
One of the many traditions here at Georgia Southern University, the touching, the headbutting of former legendary coach Irk Russell as the players arrived here a couple of hours ago. They unveiled the statue, just an electric atmosphere at Georgia Southern, all because of that proud tradition.
Legendary coach, great defensive coordinator at the University of Georgia. I had the opportunity to play against him when I was at North Carolina. They say the most boring Gator Bowl of all time was a 7-3 victory for Georgia. But they love him here. They revere him here. And just to see the atmosphere here at Paulson Stadium, once again, I was here last year with ESPN3. I'm really pleased to be back with you here, Sean.
You get a good look at Jeff Monken in his third year of reestablishing this program as a power. 2 straight trips to the semifinals, 29-11 for the disciple of Paul Johnson, worked with the longtime coach. Coach John Bunning, as we get set for this one, keys to this game for both teams.
Well, you look at Central Arkansas, they've got to execute, get the ball in the playmakers' hands, and defensively, they've got to get 4 or 5 stops to adjust in the speed of the game. over at Georgia Southern. They need touchdowns, not field goals. They've had struggles with their field goal kicker, and they've got to do a terrific job on all the third down situations. Get the ball carrier, whoever it might be, tackled.
The second round of the FCS playoffs underway as Luke Cherry sends it 3 yards into the end zone for the touchback. And we will get our first look at this high-powered Central Arkansas offense. The Bears come in having won 6 consecutive. Their last loss to Stephen F. Austin. And the big reason for their success has been the play of the quarterback, Winrick Smothers. Smothers, in his first year starting, 6'1 junior out of Destrehan, Louisiana, has done the job. In fact, he's a finalist for the Walter Payton Award.
Got an assortment of receivers to throw it to. Love throwing it to the backs. There'll be multiple different personnel groupings today and multiple formations.
From the 25-yard line, the game's first play will go to the running back, and that's Jackie Hinton over the left side. Take a look at the Central Arkansas starting lineup. Hinton is a very good physical running back, but the strength of this team in the trio of receivers, Lewis, Kroom, and Grandy, Coach Conk described them maybe as the best in Central Arkansas history. Up front, Corey Howard is the leader on that bunch, along with Cole Carruthers at the tackle position. Smothers to throw for the first time. Nobody open downfield. And the Bears looking at third down. Let's meet the Georgia Southern defense up front. Brent Russell is the mainstay, the senior. He's been a starter for the past 3 years, former All-American. Linebacking core very physical. John Stevenson just 6 tackles away from 100. And that secondary has been problem at times this year.
And here's where they need to really play great football today. 3rd and long conversions. Georgia Southern must convert. The crowd is into it, Sean.
They take the snap with 5 on the clock. Smothers fly pattern deep downfield. A lot of contact. Good coverage. No flag as it falls incomplete. The speed of Central Arkansas at the ends, that's going to be a key to watch throughout the course of this one.
They've got speed and size at receivers. Very athletic. Quarterback, once again, as he said in the open, a dual threat. He, against press coverage, he's going to throw the deep ball. And at that time, Georgia Southern was able to make the play.
Kevin Buford on the punt. He's had a solid season, averaging around 40 yards a kick. Darian Robinson awaiting the kick back at the 30. Now we have movement up front. Looked like the center might have flinched there.
False start. Number 89 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Patriot League officials here today. Jeff Gray is our referee.
Darian Robinson's averaging 7.3 per return, 17 returns this year. The kicking game for Central Arkansas, very, very good.
Here comes the pressure, and it's not a good kick. Off the side of Buford's foot, out of bounds, and Georgia Southern is going to have tremendous starting position.
What a great start for Georgia Southern. It's a great venue. Their crowd is into it, and their defense got the whole team into it, and then we follow with the punt off the side of the foot.
A good look at Clint Conk. He is the winningest coach in Central Arkansas history, dating all the way back to 1908. Named the Southland Coach Conference of the Year for the 2nd time this season in his 13th year guiding this Bear program, but he's in some trouble early on in a hostile environment.
See what formations and what style of option play Georgia Southern has in mind today.
McKinnon, how about this for a surprise? He's going to go to the air on the very first play, and it's incomplete. Jarek McKinnon has attempted only 30 passes coming into this one.
And he has slot back Jonathan Bryan open on the wheel route, just can't quite connect. He is, once again, a converted cornerback. Started in June to be their option and wildcat type quarterback for Georgia Southern.
Last 4 games, McKinnon has been on fire against some pretty good competition. 569 rushing yards and 8 touchdowns over the last 4. Here's the bruising fullback Swope over the right side as he powers up near the 30. Georgia Southern with the triple option offense. That means we'll see a handful of backs in there. Swope is the main weapon. Robinson and Bryant, the two slots. Up front, they've been banged up this year. They have started as many as 8 different rotations on that front wall. 10 different guys have started throughout the course of the year.
A little addition through subtraction, getting experience while other guys are on the sideline mending.
3rd down and 6 from the 30. McKinnon on the option. Lost his footing as he slipped down at the 27-yard line, and Jeff Monken's going to have his first decision here. The kicking game has really struggled of late for Georgia Southern. Freshman Alex Hanks has made only 1 of his last 7 field goal attempts.
We're not going to see a field goal early in the game here. We're going to see a 4th down. Georgia Southern leads the Southern Conference in 4th down, 63%.
I know
That's
it's
pretty doggone good.
It's early, Coach, but this is a critical stop potentially for Central Arkansas.
Absolutely.
They need to get it to the 24. They will put Bryant in motion. McKinnon dropped the snap, and Central Arkansas is going to come up with a big stop early in this game. How about the job by the Bear defense?
Very good on the first play, the opening play, covering the wheel route, and then able to stop Swope short. And then, of course, we have the fumbled exchange here, which one time, you know, a cornerback, he's not always used to that type of snap, and that's the problem here. Didn't get the exchange, so therefore it disrupted the option attack. So a good break and good defense by Central Ark to start this football game.
Smothers operating from the shotgun. He has 2 receivers split to the bottom of the screen. And they will go that direction with the screen pass, making the catch up ahead to the 29-yard line. Stutter step move there by the explosive Jesse Grandy.
Once again, shifting personnel in and out there, and 2 tight ends, 2 wides, and throw the bubble type screen out there trying to get a block. It'll be critical once again for Georgia Southern to be a good tackling team in space today, because they're going to catch the football. There's going to be receptions made by Central Ark.
You already see the up-tempo style, the contrasting style between these 2 teams and how they like to play offensive football. A lot of check down here by Smothers on 2nd down. Pocket collapsing. Here's where Smothers is dangerous, and he will duck ahead to the 35. About a yard shy of the 1st down, brought down by Blake Riley. That's the second dimension that Smothers poses problems for defense, his ability to scramble and run with the football.
Absolutely. He's a terrific runner.
You see the numbers on the season, 370 yards on the ground.
In a short yardage offensive formation, Georgia Southern changes personnel, brings in their base personnel to try to defend a short yardage situation here.
High snap, Smothers goes up after it, and he is denied the 1st down. Met at the line of scrimmage by John Stevenson, the 1st-year starter, and you talked about solid tackling. There's an example right there from Stevenson.
Absolutely. Had the 2 tight ends in here. They're going to run the quarterback power. 2 backs in the backfield, 1 is the tight end, and they're not able to pick up the 1st down. Great up front by the defensive line and short tackling by the linebackers.
Let's see what type of kick Buford gets off here. Rugby-style kicker gets a line drive, end-over-end kick. Not pretty, but effective, and that's what he does so well. He can mix it up. He can throw in the rugby style of kick, or he can boot bombs, as we've seen him do throughout the course of the year. And this one will prevent the return. So the defense is shining early in this one. No score from Statesboro. There's a little bear hunting going on in these parts today. Georgia Southern and Central Arkansas early in this first quarter, and both defenses looking sharp out of the gates as Georgia Southern begins their second drive of the quarter from the 30-yard line, and they will go with the quarterback McKinnon with some room over that right side. Following the block of Garrett Fry and Logan Daves, he picks up close to 9 yards.
Georgia Southern beginning in tight formations, running what they call the lead option. Had a lead back in front of them with an option behind them. Picking up the first down.
Numbers are staggering offensively on the ground for Georgia Southern. They have had 3 games this year where they have rushed for over 500 yards.
Including over 300 against Georgia a couple weeks ago.
McKinnon picked up enough for the first down, so from the 40-yard line, they will give it to Swope, sidestepping a couple of defenders at the line of scrimmage. He falls ahead for 2 yards. Let's meet the Central Arkansas defense. Jonathan Woodard at defensive end is the Southland Conference Freshman of the Year. Hornbuckle needs a big game up front as well. Gaines has made a transition into the interior position for the start of this one. Seth Allison, 2-time all-conference player. Justin Hurd is the team's leading tackler. And that secondary, Winfrey and Winston, the 2 leaders. Justin Love, he is an interception machine. He plays with an edge. He looks for the big hit. 2nd and 7, the reverse option. All sorts of room for McKinnon, and they're not going to catch him. Jarrett McKinnon, touchdown, Georgia Southern.
This is the problem for a defense playing against this after really 2 weeks off. They're not able to adjust to the speed of the game. It looks easy, and it's not. There's too many people out there on the edge. Great downfield blocking by Georgia Southern. If you're a wide receiver for Georgia Southern, they call them blockers.
Wide blockers.
Yeah. Wide blockers, yes.
You saw Dominique Swope deliver a great block that opened up the initial hole there for McKinnon to get to the corner. Alex Hanks with the point after, and we were just talking about the dynamic offense, the ground game for Georgia Southern. It's coming right at you. Jarek McKinnon, 57 yards, and the Eagles draw first blood. Jarek McKinnon goes 57 yards as Georgia Southern is on the board first as we go back to that touchdown run by the elusive quarterback.
And you watch the left side collapse down the defense and watch the load block by Swope out there on the edge, and then a picket fence develops as he runs the course for the touchdown. Just perfect execution by the offense of Georgia Southern. That was the load option. So we've seen lead option, and that was Swope loading the outside of the defense with the block as the B-back, the fullback.
Cherry with the kick. Chance of the return. This will be Dominique Kroom. Kroom up ahead to the 20, falls forward to the 25-yard line. So Central Arkansas down 7. It's been a couple of quiet offensive series here in the first quarter.
I got to see them come out throwing here. That's what they do best. They will do some token running, but they need to get their receivers going right now. And that means splitting them out and throwing the ball. Get the ball in their hands. That was what we said in the keys to the game. Get the ball in the playmakers' hands. You got Grandy split to the far side here, all by himself with a lot of field to work with.
Now they'll go a bunch formation to the bottom. They keep it on the ground with Jackie Hinton, and he is hit hard by the former linebacker Darius Eubanks, and now a late marker comes in. Officials coming together on this late flag after Hinton. You saw the helmet go flying.
Eubanks packs a wallop there now. Former linebackers, you said, Sean, playing that safety position.
Jeff Gray about to tell us what's going on here.
After the play, personal foul, 52 on the defense. The 15-yard penalty, be a first down.
That is
Number
Javon.
5 will be leaving the game because his helmet came off prior to the end of the play.
That is Javon Mention. You see him talking with Coach Munkin right now. Mention is their pass rushing specialist, but that time a little bit too physical after the play.
Yeah, he's got 8 tackles for loss and 6.5 sacks, but you don't want to get that attention from the head coach early in the game. It's deflating. So they'll get a 15-yard penalty, first down, much better field position.
The Central Arkansas team averaging around 400 yards of offense on the season, lighting up the scoreboard in the Southland Conference, 36 points a clip. From the 45. Little tunnel screen over the middle, incomplete. He was looking for his tallest target. That's Desmond Lewis, the talented sophomore. 52 catches on the year. These 3 receivers, Lewis, Kroom, and Grandy, all 3 with more than 50 receptions.
Great yards per catch. Lots of touchdowns. 40 touchdowns between 7 or 8 receivers of the 48 they scored this year.
Second down. Smothers has a good pocket, zips it over the middle, man wide open. That's Lewis, all the way up ahead to the Georgia Southern 19-yard line. "36 yards on the completion with Lewis.
Great protection. They do a really good job. Just a deep delay dig route to their tallest receiver, Desmond Lewis. Picks up the first.
It's the big play Central Arkansas needed. They are now inside the red zone for the first time. Play fake, little bootleg action. They float it toward the end zone, looking for Kroom, and he nearly made the one-handed catch. Jarred free at the last second by Eubanks.
Bit unusual for Central Arkansas to bring in big people, play action pass, try to get a home run right down the post area. Terrific job by the Georgia Southern secondary, late reacting to break up the touchdown throw.
This Georgia Southern secondary has really been tested the last couple of games of the season. You knew Central Arkansas would try to exploit that. 2nd and 10. Sideline pattern, too tall and incomplete. He's looking for Jesse Grandy. Pretty good coverage along the near side.
Sean, this reminds me of my old quarterback with the Philadelphia Eagles, Ron Jaworski. When he played a real big game, he'd throw the ball 5 feet over Harold Carmichael's head, who was 6'8". He's throwing some high balls right now. I think he's just a little anxious there in the pocket.
Trying to tell me somebody's a little too fired up down there, possibly.
Excited to be here, be part of this special playoff system of FCS.
Grandy and Soft are the two slots.
Big third down. Need to convert it here for Georgia Southern.
Smothers dumps it underneath. It's his tailback. Hinton well shy of the first down. Minimal pickup as they get 3. And Central Arkansas will send out the very reliable Eddie Camara to try to get the Bears on the board here on the road.
Yeah, he's been very good this year. 10 of 12 with a 48 long. But that's a good drive for Central Arkansas. They've got to regroup on defense when they go back out there. But this pass protection scheme of Clint Conk, they do a terrific job up front protecting the quarterback.
34-yard field goal for the left-footed kicker, Camara. Plenty of leg, and he splits the uprights. Eddie Camara has been reliable for the Central Arkansas program the past couple of years, and he gives the Bears their first points of the day.
Timeout on the field.
So Central Arkansas responds with 3. Eagles still with the lead halfway through this first quarter. .7:30 to go here in the first quarter. Georgia Southern on top 7-3. ESPN College Football is available live anytime, anywhere on your computer, tablet, or smartphone at watchespn.com and with the Watch ESPN app. Six plays, 57 yards in that last drive. The big hookup was the 35-yard throw and catch to Desmond Lewis. A 37-yard field goal by Eddie Camara. Camara with a wobbler that goes out of bounds, trying to keep it away from J.J. Wilcox, and this will draw the penalty.
Sean, right before kickoff, we were told that Justin Williams, we'd heard a rumor that he might not be there.
A foul for the kickoff going out of bounds. Georgia Southern will accept 5-yard penalty, re-kick.
He was left at home, so they made the adjustment today to put Markeith Gaines, a defensive end, in to play defensive tackle. That is a different world, particularly against this style of offense. So we'll have to keep an eye on that position, because there's a whole bunch of things going on inside in option football with those 3-foot splits and the cut offense and the double down and guard down, tackle around, all that kind of different blocking schemes for Gaines.
What are the biggest differences for him when you're used to playing on the edge like Gaines has, and then you get thrust into the interior? What's the biggest thing?
You have your peripheral vision better get a lot bigger, because normally you're just looking at that offensive tackle through to the near foot of the first back. Now you're looking at a guard and a tackle. And once again, we've got these Georgia Southern splits are 3 foot.
Georgia Southern is going to make Kamara kick it again. Wilcox will be given a shot to return it from his 5. Wilcox to the outside, a little bit of space. J.J. Wilcox all the way up ahead to the 46-yard line. 41 yards on the return, and you see why Central Arkansas was trying to keep the football away from him.
Great player, moved from offense a couple years ago to defense.
Certainly has big shoes to fill. LaRon Scott was the terrific return man here for years at Georgia Southern, now with the New York Giants. So a good return by Wilcox will give Georgia Southern excellent field position. 7:21 to go in this first quarter. McKinnon has the long touchdown run for the Eagles. Georgia Southern with the lead. A bit of a different look out of the shotgun as McKinnon will keep it, dance around, and then find a little room. How about that move by Jerick McKinnon? I think the word to describe that, patience.
And once again, you can see why they made the move, put him at quarterback, because he has such great athleticism. And this is great eyes. Sets up the block and then darts outside to pick up a first down.
Justin Love able to bring him down, but what a start running the football by McKinnon. 4 carries now, 82 yards. Bryant in motion. They will give it to the B-back, and that is Swope. Swope has been banged up. In fact, he missed a couple of games with a concussion. This is a key cog that I know you saw last year in the playoffs come through with a huge game against Old Dominion.
250-plus yards. He just totally dominated in a high-scoring game. Really good football player, and Coach Conk said to us earlier this week, got to shut that guy down. We got to at least take that away and then work on the quarterback. Try to get the ball to the sideline and use the sideline as the 12th defender.
Now movement up front as they give it to Swope, and this play will be blown dead before it could get started. Looked like Central Arkansas a little bit too anxious. The question becomes, were they enticed here?
Offside. Defense, number 47. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
That is the backup on the weak side linebacker side, Blake Childress. The 6'2", 210-pound sophomore. 51 tackles on the season. He's kind of bounced around with Roger Jackson at that weak side backer position this year.
As we said early, they got to get adjusted to the speed of the game. There's just no way to simulate it back there at Central Arkansas.
Second and short after the penalty from the 35. McKinnon, again, nearly lost his footing. He's able to propel ahead, veer forward to the 32. Will pick up the first down, 4 yards, and Georgia Southern right back to work on the ground. A typical Eagle drive right here.
Different formations presented to the defense. They have to align in different spots, and then all of a sudden they're going to be cut blocked by the wide receivers or the slot backs.
Back in there and getting his first call is Trey Butler, and Butler has jumped on in the backfield. The leader of this defense, Justin Hurd, along with Seth Allison, 2 terrific linebackers, throwing Butler for a loss.
Hurd was honorable mention all Southland. He is a heck of a player. I think he's their best defender. He needs to have a big day today. Their leading tackler, 14 tackles for loss and an interception. This guy can run, and he is relentless as a middle linebacker.
He too has made a transition this year, was An outside linebacker to begin his career and then slid into the interior spot. Has done a terrific job, as Coach Bunny mentioned.
Timeout. Charge to Central Arkansas.
Clint Conk had to burn an early timeout, did not have the right personnel on the field, so Central Arkansas will use their first timeout. 4:42 to go here in the first quarter, and you get a good look at Coach Conk, and I know both of us were extremely impressed with our conversation. You talk about passion, and you talk about attention to detail. He had both covered in our chat.
Absolutely, and putting a program together. Every bit of the student athletes, the facilities, getting on board with the administrators, presidents, athletic directors. You know, to me, it was just really a pleasure to hear that coming out of his mouth and not hear about, oh, he's going to get this much money to go to this place or that place, and he all he cares about is winning. He wants to run a successful program for the football players.
Boy, and he has done just that. McKinnon is going to throw. Seam pattern down the middle. Robinson's there. Touchdown, Georgia Southern.
Threw 30 passes coming into this game, but now he's thrown 2. And close to scoring on both of them. Got that one in there. This is when the safeties are on those slot backs and they let their eyes wander a little bit, and the slot back gets positioned downfield, and a great throw from McKinnon. You've got to focus on your coverage when you're playing man-to-man.
Darian Robinson with his first touchdown catch of the season, and McKinnon, who doesn't throw it a lot, put the ball on the money. And just like that, Georgia Southern jumps out 14-3. 32 yards on the scoring strike. The 2012 NCAA Division I Championship continues next weekend with quarterfinal games on December 8th. All games will be on the ESPN family of networks. For more information, go to NCAA.com, the official online home for all 89 NCAA championships. Georgia Southern went 2 games this year without picking up a single passing yard. And here they connect through the air as Darian Robinson hauls in a perfect pass, 32 yards on the scoring strike, and Georgia Southern slowly taking control of this game in the first quarter.
Yes, they are, Sean. Central Arkansas saw a little bit of option from Sam Houston State, a lot of throwing from Sam Houston State, but when they did run some option, lead option, speed option, they were very, very successful. So the focus for 2 weeks at Central Arkansas has been stopping this sophisticated option of Georgia Southern. You can only work on so many plays throwing the football, so it's foreign. It's really important for this. The defensive players that are covering people to focus on their coverage and not have their eyes wander.
On the return, this is Jesse Grandy, and he is tracked down near the 5.
Not many people can do that, Sean.
Took the words right out of my mouth. Tracked down there by Boyd Sasser. Tremendous special teams on the former Ole Miss standout.
That's being disciplined in your lane coverage, seeing the type of return they have, and continuing to run hard. That's all about playing hard on that kickoff coverage unit. And what a field position they're faced with now.
This crowd's going to make an impact in these types of situations. Smothers from the shadow of his own goal. Second time we've seen a high snap. And the play is blown up in the backfield. Dion DeBose, what a terrific story. This leader of the defense has missed the last couple of playoff runs because of a very serious knee injury, and now he gets his first taste of postseason football.
He accelerates to get a tackle for loss. He's a leader in tackle for losses with Georgia Southern, coming off a year and a half of tough knee surgery, the terrible triad, 3 ligaments gone, and he's worked so hard. And believe me, I know a little bit about that. Did one myself. You just never know if you ever make it back. He's got to feel great about playing in a playoff game. He's first.
Smothers from his end zone, man open, Lewis, but he missed him, incomplete. Wide open downfield, Desmond Lewis was able to get behind Wilcox, and a rare misfire from Smothers.
That's a long foul ball, but that shows you what they can do, and Smothers will connect if he's given that opportunity again. Georgia Southern will stick with what's got him here to this dance, playing a lot of cover 2, some quarters coverage, but they're going to get locked up in some situations where they are outmanned by one of those receivers.
Play clock down to 5. Georgia Southern rushes 4. Pocket forms over the middle, right on the money. There's that accuracy, close to a first down. They'll pick it up. They needed 12, and they go with 13 to Jesse Grandy, his 58th catch of the season.
Their fastest receiver. He can take it to the house anytime. Once again, they've got playmakers all over that field. They do a good job protecting for the quarterback, Smothers. He now is just going to get in form here to move this team.
Huge first down conversion there for Central Arkansas. Again, they go deep. Jump ball situation. Marker comes in, and what a grab. Let's see if Kroom held on to it. He's jockeying for the football with Nick Wright. Kroom ends up with it. This will be defensive pass interference, I'm guessing, and there is some of that athleticism by Dominique Kroom. What a catch.
Talking about these receivers.
Number 21 on the defense. The penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down.
Talking about these receivers, you've got the tall one in Desmond Lewis, 6'4", and then you've got the highly athletic Dominic Kroom. Watch this hand-eye coordination and jump, warding off the defender to bring it in basically with one hand.
That's a field position changer, 52 yards on the completion. Back comes Central Arkansas trying to establish the ground game, and it's Hinton barreling over defenders. Jackie Hinton all the way to the 25, 15 yards for the senior out of Houston, Texas, second team All-Southland Conference performer.
There will be no panic in this second Central Arkansas Bear team. Seen them come back against Sam Houston State, the quarterback leading them back from 2 scores down to win the football game. So there's a lot of football to be played. They're going to continue to grind, doing what they do best, which is get the ball in the playmakers' hands. Token run here and there, but they're going to throw this ball all over the place. Love to throw it to the backs as well.
Pressure comes, Smothers hit as he throws. Kroom in the end zone, holds it in, but he was out of bounds. Again, they're trying to pick on Nick Wright as Dominique Kroom hauled it in, but apparently the feed out of bounds as we take a look.
They bring pressure. J.J. Wilcox goes unpicked up. That is a great catch, and he is right there close to that sideline.
You saw that right foot clearly out of bounds, just missing it. Georgia Southern bringing some pressure on that last play. Second down and 10. Grandy goes in motion. They fake the jet sweep. Little swing pass. Nuh-uh. Kyle Olbeck sniffed that one out. Central Arkansas loves to use their running backs in the passing game, and Olbrich was on top of that.
Right on top of it. Saw the throw from the quarterback, sprinted to the point of attack, and got the receiver on the ground. You don't have to make great Dick Butkus tackles all the time, but you've got to tackle the catch. Get him on the ground. Don't give them extra yards after the catch.
We saw Central Arkansas convert on a critical third down just a few moments ago. Similar situation, 3rd and 10. Here comes pressure on the edge. And Hinton unable to make the catch. He wasn't ready for it. Smothers felt the pressure, and let's see what Central Arkansas is going to try to do here. It looks like they're going to send out the kicking unit.
They tried to sneak the running back Hinton down the sideline on the wheel route. Antoine Williams, number 37, the linebacker, in the game. Terrific coverage. They were ready for that trick play.
Eddie Kamara is connected already today from 34. This will be a 42-yard kick. He's a perfect 4 for 4 from this distance this year. Has the leg. The left-footed kicker splits the uprights one more time. So an impressive drive again by Central Arkansas. Remember, the Bears started all the way back inside their 10.
Backed up. Absolutely. It's very good for them. Encourages their offense and should be encouraging for their defense. They've got to find a way to, once again, adjust to the speed of this offense of Georgia Southern's and get a stop.
9 plays, 68 yards, 3 minutes, 19 seconds off the clock as Kamara hits from 42 yards. And the former All-American linebacker at Nicholls State trying to figure something out defensively. Coach Clint Conk and his Central Arkansas team, as you mentioned, they have to make some adjustments here in this first half to adjust to the speed, the execution of that option offense.
He's a Hall of Famer down there at Nicholls State, inducted in 2006. Coach Conk switched over to the offensive side. Smart guy. Said, I'm just going to go score points. I don't want to defend this option football stuff. I'll let somebody else figure that out for me. It's hard to do because it's hard to practice.
You look at the extremes for the Central Arkansas defense just a couple of weeks ago. They were taking on one of the more pass-happy teams in the country in Eastern Illinois. And now this week, it's the #1 rushing attack. This is Jonathan Bryant tripped up at the 30-yard line as they keep the football away from J.J. Wilcox.
So said in the open, Sean, 4 or 5 times they need to stop them in the course of this game. They need to keep scoring. They've scored 2 of their last 3 drives, gotten field goals.
This drive will open up from the 30-yard line, just shy of the 30. First down, McKinnon. He'll pitch it to Robinson. Robinson trying to get to the corner. Cut off. Good pursuit defense. Gang tackling. Chasing him down all the way across the field was Justin Love.
Justin Love's a very, very fine player. He was freshman of the year a couple years ago for Central Arkansas. Playing in that secondary. He plays relentless football. He's going to be a big factor if they're able to stop this option attack today.
A couple of guys on this defense that play with a chip on their shoulders, and Love is one of them. High impact player. The dive read here with Swope, and he is just bouncing off would-be tacklers. First down yardage for Dominique Swope.
Talking with Coach Conk the other day, he said, we've got to stop the fullback, what they call the B-back in this offense. He's going to run in that A or B back, just to the left or right of the center or the guard. Going to give it to him in a dive fashion. They're going to give it to him in a belly fashion, where the quarterback will reverse out. Has the option then of run belly option, the belly G option. Well, here we go. First change here in the quarter. Great first quarter.
First quarter clock winds down. Georgia Southern on top. 14-6. Eagles lead it over Central Arkansas.
There are over 400,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
Georgia Southern on top of Central Arkansas. Welcome back to Statesboro. You see some of the home cooking here at Paulson Stadium, and certainly it has been home cooking in the playoffs. 32-3 all time here in the friendly confines of Paulson during the playoff era for Georgia Southern. McKinnon with that reverse pivot step, bangs away from his own blocker, down the sideline. McKinnon, one man to beat, finally caught at the 6-yard line. His own blocker couldn't even bring him down. Jarrett McKinnon with a first half here, dominant performance.
Look at the side view here coming out. Here's the counter trap option with the leading guard cutting the edge of the defense and downfield blocking to let McKinnon continue to be free running down that sideline. So that's the third or fourth different type option we've seen today from Georgia Southern.
News gets even worse for Central Arkansas here. Justin Hurd is the injured Bear, the junior. We have already discussed his significance on this defensive side of the football, the team's leading tackler, and good to see him up on both feet, walking off on his own power. He is a guy they can ill afford to lose, trying to slow down this running attack by Georgia Southern. 51 yards on that last run by McKinnon.
Making big plays on the ground with this Georgia Southern attack. They're just so good at the execution of this offense. Jeff Munkin has been involved with this for a long, long time under Paul Johnson and a number of others.
McKinnon already 136 yards rushing in this first half. Here they try to get Swope involved. Swope keeping his balance, but the Bears, a little grumpy, bring him down without their leader on the field, Hurd. Good job there by Central Arkansas.
I'm going to say about every defender on that field touched him on that play. He was bouncing around. He's a determined young runner. He's really good.
Jackson was the first one to hit him. Loss of a couple, back to the 6.
Just a true sophomore. Swope is. Got a fine future.
They have Williford split all the way to the bottom of the screen. Couple of slots left and right. Second down, McKinnon stretching it. He'll keep it and go in untouched. Touchdown number 3 for Jarrett McKinnon.
Little speed option. Different ways to skin the cat to get some of the same results. A quarterback running free. No hats on him. Great blocking out on the edge. Swope had nobody to block. He was leading them out there on the load. Couldn't find anybody to block. That's just how proficient this offense can be sometimes.
McKinnon with a couple of rushing touchdowns today now gives him 15 on the season. The freshman Hanks splits the uprights, and Georgia Southern continues to move the football at will here in the first half. It's all McKinnon right now, the junior quarterback on the sprint option. Georgia Southern rolling. Georgia Southern doing a little beak butting, I guess is how you would describe that there from the Eagle, as they lead 21-6 early in the second quarter. Kansas State's fantastic regular season comes to a close with a must-win finale in Manhattan as Colin Klein and the Wildcats look to secure a Big 12 title and automatic BCS bid against red-hot Case McCoy and the Texas Longhorns. Saturday Night Football presented by Windows 8, number 18 Texas versus number 6 K-State. Saturday, 8 o'clock on ABC, all part of Championship Week.
Sean, when you run this style of offense, you want to, what they say, stay on schedule. And what the defense needs to do is get them off schedule. Right now, Central Arkansas can't find a way, really, with the exception of Hurd one-time tackling for a loss. They can't get them off schedule. They're way ahead of schedule, Georgia Southern.
Grandy from the 2. Turns it out to the 32-yard line. Tackled by Deshaunte Gallen.
And it's usually a nightmare over on that sideline trying to talk to defensive players after 3 straight touchdowns against your defense with this style of offense. Really hard to get on a chalkboard or dry erase board, whatever board, drawn in the dirt. What do we do? Coach, I saw this, I saw that. Been there and done that. It's hard, really hard.
Winrick Smothers, the 6'1 junior, now down 15, their largest deficit. They start this drive from the 32. Little counter reverse, and it is blew up in the backfield. Terrific read right there by Javon Minchin. That's what he does. This guy makes stops in the backfield, whether it's a sack or right here a TFL, tackle for loss.
Big play by him. That was wide open, and that draw play would have gone, that delayed draw would have gone 15, 20 yards. Minchin, though, gets around the edge and turns back into the draw play.
Time of possession fairly even, but it's been the big play by Georgia Southern. A touchdown pass and the long run by McKinnon. Smothers is going to try to run, has a little bit of room. Now into the secondary, and he will slide to the Southern 47-yard line.
There's where he can hurt you. Everybody's covered. They're playing man-to-man. A little gaping hole opens up, and he's able to jump up in it and then split down the field because the other defenders are in man coverage, covering their guys.
24 yards on the improv. Now the chair pattern. He wanted the home run, still waits, throws, and it's incomplete. He wanted the deep ball with that initial pump fake, but Wilcox with the coverage not biting. They were looking for Kroom again.
Georgia Southern trying to match the personnel. You've got big people in there now for Central Arkansas. 12 personnel, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers split down here to the Georgia Southern sideline.
Out of the pistol formation, Bobo gets his second call. A little bit of room as he breaks into the secondary. Wrestled down by Eubanks, but a good carry by Terrence Bobo. Coach Clint Kalk very confident in his 2 running backs, Hinton and Bobo. A little bit of a contrasting style like you see quite often with a tandem of backs, but both give a little bit of a different dimension to the offense.
Not great run averages. They're okay, but they also catch 60 balls between them.
There's a quick throw out. Grandy making defenders miss as he dances all the way to the Georgia Southern 20. 18 yards on the quick throw, and here comes Central Arkansas right back.
They are a very good offensive team. And Grandy will make people miss because he is quick and can cut. Jump cut. You've got to be sure of the tackle. You've got to use that sideline if you can as the 12th defender to get him on the ground.
See the numbers put up by Grandy this year. He is their home run hitter, the playmaker. Grandy goes in motion. Smothers to throw. Defenders all around. He's going to tuck and run. Smothers dives ahead to the 4-yard line. 16 more yards, and Central Arkansas will have it 1st and goal.
They fake the jet sweep to Grandy. Receivers once again are covered, but he takes it down. You got to have some pocket rush. Somebody in the middle of the rush scheme to get in the face of the quarterback. Make him run sideways. He can't have those vertical lanes.
Central Arkansas loves the fade pattern in these types of situations. Keep an eye on that. Bobo is the lone back. Speak of the devil, looking for it. Lewis out there, goes up, but he came in out of bounds. Eubanks with the coverage, trying to find the 6'4" target, Desmond Lewis.
Big on big there. Eubanks, a 6'2", 220-pounder. Out of bounds. Good call by the field judge there.
That has been the Bears' play of choice inside the 10. Use the height of those receivers. In that case, it was Desmond Lewis.
They are 73% red zone touchdown down here. They have been good.
They fake the jet sweep. This is a keeper all the way by Smothers, and he is torpedoed down. Submarine move there by Stevenson as he shot in low, setting up a 3rd down.
Talk about good right there. That's a great stop for Georgia Southern. 3rd down and 4. Quarterback power. See the guard pull around. Bobo out there blocking on the edge. Guard and back blocking for the quarterback on the quarterback power play.
Central Arkansas needs 6. They cannot keep exchanging field goals for touchdowns with this high-powered Georgia Southern offense. They're going to move the pocket. Smothers comes back, reverse side, man open, and it's dropped. Incomplete, looking for the backup tight end, Thomas Hart.
A great play call by Coach Conk and his staff to sprint to the boundary and throw back to the tight end who is coming back from the other side. came all the way across the field to try to catch that throwback to the tight end. And he hit him right in the hands.
Central Arkansas has called a timeout here with 10:28 to play in the second quarter, looking at a 4th and goal from the 4-yard line. And Coach John Bunning, do you settle for 3 again here, or do you try to punch it in for 6?
You know, this is a classic call right here. I believe Coach Conk is going to want to get some points, but he can't continue to exchange. Yes, granted, if you go for it in 4th and miss, they got a long ways to go, but they have been moving the football on your defense. I think I'd go for it right here.
You look at this Central Arkansas team mixing up this drive using the scramble by Smothers on a couple of occasions. They went to that fade pattern on 1st and goal. Do you expect them to go to the air here?
Well, they ran the quarterback power, and then they ran the what we call the poop tight end back across the field. They don't quite call it like that, but that's the idea. I would try to get this quarterback out in space to give him a run pass option, let him run it in.
Big play here from Paulson Stadium. 4th and goal for the Bears as they try to get back into this game. Smothers under pressure, throws underneath. Bobo makes the catch, but shy of the pylon. And the Georgia Southern defense comes up with a terrific stop.
Didn't quite execute, I think, what they wanted to do, which was to pick off a defender. Bobo needs to get upfield, but the pressure is what causes him to throw the ball quickly. He wanted more time to be able to throw to the picked receiver out there in the flat. Great call by Georgia Southern. Pressure up the middle in the quarterback's face. That does not happen very often in this offense run by Central Arkansas and Brooks Hollingsworth, the co-coordinator.
Brent Russell, the All-American, able to get pressure on Smothers and forced him to get rid of that football before he wanted to. So now Georgia Southern in the shadow of their own goal from the 2-yard line. They put Bryant, the option man, and now McKinnon stretching out of the end zone.
That ball is just barely across the stripe there, but it is truly going to be backed up right now. That's going to be in about the 1-foot line.
Watch 94, Devin Hawkins.
Remember, his knee goes down, but where's the ball? The ball is right there in that 1-foot line. Good call by the refs.
Good penetration inside by T.J. Randall. D.J. Willis, a couple of the interior guys.
Real critical to see if Central Arkansas can get a stop here. They have not stopped him the last 3 drives.
From inside the 1, McKinnon. Marker down, McKinnon up ahead to the 15. Garrett McKinnon to the 18-yard line, but as I mentioned, there is a flag down at the goal line.
There is a flag on the left. Illegal shift on the offense. 2 players moving at the same time. The penalty is half the distance to the goal. 2nd down.
Big break for Central Arkansas there. Let's see if they can capitalize this time. This option attack is really killing them on the perimeter right now. They are not coming up with the solutions.
You see some of the intensity there from Jeff Monken. That nose of the football is as close as it possibly can get to the goal line right now. 2nd and 12 for Georgia Southern. Can it be the Bear defense to help out the offense get a little points on the board?
What they could use is a TFL right here, tackle for a loss for a safety.
They will rush for McKinnon on the option, gets a little bit of breathing room, pushes out to the 5.
Critical down coming up for the Bears right now, Sean, with this 3rd and 7, 8. Of course, their offensive play call is not going to vary a great deal. They're just going to execute their offense. Spring McKinnon out there on the perimeter in some fashion.
44% on the season, 2nd in the Southern Conference. Looking at 3rd and 7. They need to get it up to the 12. go with 3 receivers. McKinnon on a roll is going to put the ball in the air. Home run, has a man wide open. It's Walker near midfield. Zach Walker to the 46. Georgia Southern with a huge 3rd down conversion.
You just wonder, how did he get that wide open?
51 yards to Walker, the sophomore from Wrightsville.
Plenty of time. Just gets away from Dillian Winfrey. True freshman out there playing cornerback on Zach Walker, the number 2 pass receiver for Georgia Southern.
This is Darian Robinson. He has had a quiet first half. Pretty much the ground yardage has come from the quarterback McKinnon. Robinson falls ahead for 4 yards. Going back to that catch by Walker, when Georgia Southern decides they want to put the ball in the air, Walker typically has been the big play threat.
He's in the game. They sprint the quarterback to one side. He has only one throw to go to, and that is to Walker, and he beat the young freshman big time.
Walker was a 2-time first-team All-State player in high school. He rewrote numerous Johnson County records. In fact, he's 4th in Georgia State history, 40 touchdown receptions in his high school career.
He's their big play maker with the throw, but of course they just don't throw very often. But the quarterback is 2 for 3, I think, today. That's a monumental throwing situation.
Look at the yards per catch there, 36.5 for Zach Walker. That last one going for 52, so he's right on par. That was an interesting aspect of this transition for Georgia Southern. A lot of these receivers, Patrick Barker, Mitchell Williford, they all had double-digit catches their freshman year when they were throwing the football. And then Coach Munkin brought this triple option game that we're seeing work to perfection in the first half as McKinnon goes over the right side. Those guys are ultimate team players. They sacrifice catching the football for blocking.
They're all in to this program and getting it back to the top where they want it. Perhaps going another direction here to FBS here sometime soon. But they're all behind Coach Munkin and his staff. Very disciplined group. Fun to be around yesterday over their football office and watching some tape with them.
Fresh set of downs, Georgia Southern from the 33. McKinnon dodging his way to the 24-yard line. He now crosses over the 150-yard plateau, and we still have 6:13 to go in the second quarter.
We may look back, Sean, at that big throw and catch later in this game and say that was the turning point, because if ever Central Arkansas needed to stop, it was right there. A one-receiver route.
Second down and 2 at the 25. McKinnon with the pitch. Outside, this is Scott getting his first call. Not much there. Good pursuit defense on Devin Scott, the redshirt sophomore out of Tucker, Georgia. Good to see Justin Hurd back in. So set up a 3rd and a yard, and this is why Georgia Southern has been tough on 3rd downs, 44% because of these 3rd and short situations. Tailor-made for their offense.
Absolutely. And these slot backs, these guys get converted to cornerbacks to safeties. They just do a terrific job developing their players in this system of football on both the offensive and defensive side. You're just not sure where you're going to play when you come here. If you're an athlete, you're going to get on the field and play.
Dominique Swope gets his 7th carry in this first half, and this will push ahead enough for the first down. Triple option offense, the way Georgia Southern runs it, time of possession normally on their side, and here's a perfect example. This is exactly what Jeff Munkin told us on Wednesday about managing the clock, keeping the football away from Winrick Smothers and UCA.
Reducing the possessions of the Bears offense. We know that they're dangerous. We want to stay on the field, and we want to score touchdowns, not field goals.
Swope gets his 2nd straight call following the left side of the offensive line. Look at this Georgia Southern front wall with DeBartolo and McBurnett, St. Amour, Daves, and Fry. Dorian Bird only started 5 games. He was named a first-team All Southern Conference performer. Look at that spacing, the line splits, if you will.
3-foot splits. That's the starting point for this offense.
Coach, what's the advantage of that?
Out.
What's the advantage?
Is to get those defenders, particularly the linemen, out on islands. So they're playing one-on-one by themselves with a running back behind them. It's the old Oklahoma attack.
Second down and a near mishap in the backfield as McKinnon jumps on the ball at the 15.
And we defensive guys that started training camps either in college or in the NFL, we always would start with the Oklahoma drill, which was a lineman, a linebacker or a lineman, and then a ball carrier behind him. And the ball carrier had two ways to go. And that's what this is kind of designed around. Get a big split, give there lots of spacing around that defensive lineman and that offensive guard or offensive tackle, hand it to the runner, and let him make a decision where to go.
Another third down. They're 2 for 2 on this drive. McKinnon the throw, has Robinson. They've hooked up again. Darian Robinson with a second touchdown catch. Georgia Southern continues to move the ball at will.
First time it was Winston. The safety matched up with Robinson. This time it's Seth Allison, the linebacker. Got to keep your eyes on the coverage.
Illegal formation. More than 4 players in the backfield against Georgia Southern. It's a 5-yard penalty. We'll repeat third down.
Wipe out the points. Not enough guys on the line of scrimmage.
Not over here.
Wandering eyes have cost Central Arkansas. In this case, they're getting a big break because now it's third and long. It's the second third and long in this drive where they have an opportunity to get off the field. Georgia Southern's kicker has not performed well the last few weeks. This would be extremely important right now for them to get a stop.
Seen a couple of costly penalties for Georgia Southern. Let's see if this one comes back to haunt them as they take points off the board. Now 3rd and 9. McKinnon takes a snap with 2 on the play clock. Robinson trying to stretch it out. He has nowhere to go. Hurd shadowed him the entire way down the line of scrimmage. And the penalty comes back to hurt Georgia Southern.
Hurd is an explosive player. Very good speed, and they're sending the kicker out to take a shot at this. Again, he's a true freshman. Coach has confidence in him that he can become a very good kicker. He's had some issues, probably with confidence at this point. Missed 3 against App State, which really, in fact, cost him a ball game.
Hanks has missed 5 in a row. DeMasi with the hold. Alex Hanks, the freshman, gets it over for 3.
Probably not in the style that he wanted, but it's across the crossbar.
Alex Hanks, Georgia Southern in control here in the first half. The weight of the world off the shoulders of that young man right there. Alex Hanks, the talented freshman from Marietta, Georgia. Tremendous leg. Really never had the coaching coming up through high school. He was a big soccer player, and Hanks had hit some turbulent waters this season, missing 6 of his last 7, but this time in the spotlight of the playoffs, he connects from 40 yards, his second longest field goal of his young career. He connected from 48 against Wofford earlier.
Good for him. In time, he'll be a really good kicker. He just needs to work at it and gain some confidence. Been around that at every level of football.
Jesse Grandy picks it up on the second hop from his 10. Changes direction, trying to use his speed to get to the outside, but not much to work with as he sprints to the far sideline. Central Arkansas with some work to do. 2:22 on the clock. Georgia Southern in command. That is a concerned look on the face of Clint Conk. His Bears trailing big here in the first half. And you look at the offense for Central Arkansas in this first half. They're settling for 3, not able to punch it inside the red zone. You see that 10-play, 67-yard drive turned away on downs.
And a big play down there in the goal line by the Georgia Southern. Gutsy call by their defensive coordinator and staff to get pressure on the quarterback so he did not have time to make a completion for yardage for a touch.
Let's see if Smothers can get some points on the board before half. They will go to Jackie Hinton, and he is hammered at the line of scrimmage.
Now remember, they've used 2 timeouts. They've only got 1 left. They would like to get some more points here. And they have not done it running the football today. They've got to throw it, or this quarterback's going to make another play, which he could do quite well.
Smothers 8 of 19 for 116 yards in this first half, running for his life, and he is forced to throw it away. Stevenson with the pursuit. Central Arkansas has, when you look at it, when you do the math, they've only played 2 games in the past month. The Eastern Illinois game, as you saw there, where Smothers went off. But he's having a tough go in this first half, finding the openings against this Georgia Southern secondary.
3-man line out there for Georgia Southern. Brent Russell, he's always the cheerleader. Now they're bounced into a 5-man look.
See if they bring pressure. They do. Smothers runs away from Russell. Russell thought he was held, and he was, as the pass goes incomplete. Russell was barking for that flag, and he got it. This guy plays with a non-stop motor.
Holding. The 75 on the offense. The penalty will be declined. 4th down.
Brent Russell, the former SoCon Player of the Year. In fact, Coach Munkin was surprised he did not get it this year. 66, middle of the screen.
Just has an inside charge after they shifted the defensive line down. He needs 1/2 sack to be the career leader at Georgia Southern. 1/2 sack.
Right now he shares that mark with Edward Thomas. 24 career sacks for Thomas and Russell. Thomas played back in 93 through the 96 seasons. Here comes pressure, and the kick is away by Buford. Beautiful kick. High, towering kick. Fair catch signaled for by Robinson at his 22-yard line.
I don't think that's what Coach Conk had in mind there. A 3 and out. Pressure by the Georgia Southern front on the quarterback. That's the difference right now. Good coverage.
An ACC title in place in a BCS bowl game is on the line tonight on ESPN as senior quarterback E.J. Manuel and the Seminoles look to punch their ticket to the Orange Bowl with a victory over Tevin Washington and the Yellow Jackets of Georgia Tech. It's the Dr. Pepper ACC Championship game. Florida State, Georgia Tech tonight, 8 o'clock on ESPN and also live on Watch ESPN, part of Championship Week. Paul Johnson, Georgia Tech head coach. His past connected with this Georgia Southern program.
Coach Munkin's been with him here at Georgia Southern, been with him at Navy, been with him at Georgia Tech. We've been seeing that offense and has had some prolific runners. A couple first-round pick wide receiver.
McKinnon on a design draw stays in bounds as he is brought down at the 22. That was important for him there to keep that clock moving.
Just smart play. Very, very smart.
Timeout. Charge to Georgia Southern.
Wow, I'm a little surprised at this. With 58 seconds to go, Central Arkansas has only one timeout left. But Georgia Southern taking that last time out. You see Jeff Monk and what he has done. He has brought postseason success back here to Statesboro. A couple of semifinal bursts in his first 2 seasons, and the big question mark, how far will this team go this year? Last season they lost to North Dakota State in the semifinals. The Bison ended up winning the FCS championship.
Sean, I was able to do for ESPN3 both of those playoff games here at Statesboro. Watching them play Old Dominion in a shootout and then play the University of Maine, which played extremely hard and well, but Georgia Southern, too much for them. But North Dakota State, they had it all going for them last year. They were terrific on defense.
North Dakota State ended up beating Sam Houston State, who Central Arkansas is quite familiar with from the Southland Conference. McKinnon's going to throw over the middle, tipped away, incomplete. He was looking for Contrellis Showers. And now, how about this? Central Arkansas is going to get the football back with plenty of time and one timeout.
Not quite sure what took place there with the timeout and then throwing the ball downfield. Potential interception of that ball, but I got to really like what they've been doing out here on this field. Georgia Southern has played really fine football.
We will get our first look in this half at Luke Cherry. Cherry averaging 37 yards a kick. And again, the very dangerous Jesse Grandy awaiting. High kick, fair catch signaled for as Grandy holds it in at the 45.
Yeah, I'm just not sure about that clock management. First of all, I thought that they had called timeout. Speaking of Central Arkansas, they indicated it was Georgia Southern's.
So with 44 seconds, plenty of time for this high-powered Winrick Smothers-led offense to try to get some more points, get something positive to build on at the intermission.
You've got the firepower.
Spread look, 2 receivers right and left. They keep Hinton in the backfield. Smothers under pressure is going to try to run for it. Makes a nifty move around Olbeck and falls ahead to the 47-yard line. A helmet came flying off of one of the Georgia Southern players. Now confusion by the Eagles as far as the right personnel. They're going to send out an extra D-back here. That's Javante Martin. Olbeck had to leave because of his helmet. It's a nice gift for Central Arkansas as it stopped the clock.
And a little bit of a gift here by the referees holding that ball. Central Arkansas is ready. Georgia Southern was sending people out in the field.
Pressure coming again. Smothers running, floats it downfield, looking for soft, incomplete. Again, that pressure, Coach Bunning. Georgia Southern able to dial it up time and time again.
Javon mentioned, once again, this guy can come around the edge and get pressure on the quarterback. Watch him dip his left shoulder right there. Come around, forces the quarterback to throw early.
Smothers, a 67% completion pocket passer for this program, just 8 of 22, thanks in part to the pressure in this first half. 3rd and 3. Wide open, Hinton out of the flat, makes the catch at the 30 and is tripped up at the 27 by Wright.
Big mistake there. Should have gotten out of bounds.
Clock will stop
while they move the chains, but it's going to start right over. They're going to have to down it.
Smothers spikes the football down, so we'll have 16 seconds to go. 2nd and 10.
For whatever reason, they brought a linebacker, let Hinton out uncovered. We've got the Central Arkansas coaching staff next to us. They're saying there's 12 people out there in the field. I counted them. I think I counted 12. It's tough on those referees sometimes to get it all together. Happens fast.
Georgia Southern brings a blitz up the middle. They pick it up. Smothers to the end zone. Jump ball. Incomplete. And a marker. A couple come in. And Central Arkansas will have it 1st and goal. They were looking for Grandy.
Pass interference on the defense, number 29. The 15-yard penalty will be 1st down.
Deion Stanley, the nickelback, never turned around.
This is a good call. He's got his hands on him, pushes him. Grandy is open for a while, but got to get your head turned back around to play the ball. Now, they've got, according to the scoreboard, no timeouts, and they've got 9 seconds. You can run 1 play, possibly 2 if you're lucky. See what you can do here. You got to have something quick. It's got to be it's got to be a completion and a touchdown, or it's got to be incomplete. Kick the field goal.
Again, we mentioned the fade pattern early. Keep an eye on Lewis. He's to the bottom of the screen, number 85, guarded by Wright.
Going to bring pressure.
From the 13, fade pattern. Kroom, back of the end zone, incomplete with 3.7 to go here in the first half. And Clint Conk is not going to get greedy in this situation. He's going to take 3 with Camara.
Put them 2 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion behind. So this will make it 2 scores instead of 3 scores if they can put this through the uprights.
Camara has knocked in 9 in a row, including 2 here in the first half. This one from 30 yards. Kick on the way, end over end, as it sails through the uprights, and that's how the first half will end. Eddie Camara with the 30-yard field goal. Georgia Southern gets a little bit closer. Missed opportunities for the Bears. Eagles lead big at half. Exciting sounds here at Polson Stadium, the second round of the FCS playoff championships. Georgia Southern on top of Central Arkansas 24-9. And Coach Bunning, let's revisit your keys to the game. How are the two teams doing in those areas?
Well, Georgia Southern's been doing a great job staying on the field, scoring touchdowns rather than kicking field goals. Kicked one field goal, though, which was big points for them. Central Arkansas has not been able to adjust to the game conditions of stopping this quarterback. It's got to get done at halftime in a quieter place. Get that defense around on the blackboard and talk about how are we going to get this quarterback down on the ground, get more people to the ball. They have been shutting down the slope part of the dive, but they've not been able to take care of the quarterback. On the other hand, Central Arkansas not being able to connect, I believe, John, that's because of the pressure that we've talked about up in the middle of the pocket on the quarterback. And when he's not had pressure up the middle, he's taken it down and run, that being Smothers.
So let's see how Clint Conk and the Central Arkansas team responds here down on the road. Georgia Southern will get the football first. J.J. Wilcox already has one long return as Camara puts his left foot into it. 3 yards deep. Wilcox is going to give it a shot. J.J. Wilcox bangs ahead to the 14-yard line. The playmaker trying to make something happen, but Central Arkansas good with the special teams there. Justin Love, the first one to bring him down along with Derek Floyd.
Great kick by Camara to get it deep, 5-6 yards deep into the end zone over in the corner. That's hard to bring a ball out back into the middle of the field. Too much field to cover.
See the quarterback comparison. They were the two marquee players coming in, Smothers and McKinnon. And right now the edge goes to McKinnon just because of the touchdowns. A couple of runs and a touchdown pass. Smothers, on the few times he has been able to run, has picked up good yardage on those scrambles. So from the 15-yard line, it will be McKinnon going back to work. Good yardage up ahead to the 20. Slays on his feet. McKinnon slips free to the 41-yard line. 26 yards as he dances to a Georgia Southern first down.
Well, you're thinking that Central Arkansas may have some answers for the quarterback out here on the perimeter, but in fact he does not. Watch the block out here on the edge on number 24 right there. I believe that's Swope on the load option, getting out there and taking care of business to spring McKinney.
Good block there by Swope as he was able to take out Jackson, the weak side linebacker. Allison finally able to corral Jarek McKinnon. So he stepped out at the 39. Here is the dive read as they go to Swope over the right side.
Jarek McKinnon is one heck of an athlete and tough. They say that his next position is going to be in the NFL as a cornerback.
It's a very athletic family. His brother Lester Norwood earned 4 letters at the University of Florida, playing for Steve Spurrier. First team All-State quarterback, 3-year starter at Sprayberry High School. And as we've talked about throughout the course of this game, he's played 4 different positions while here at Georgia Southern. The option for McKinnon as he lunges to the 47-yard line. Set up a very manageable 3rd and a yard. Do you get the feeling, and this is more a credit to Georgia Southern, that Central Arkansas just can't get on a roll? You know, they just can't get any momentum built, whether it's offensively or defensively.
And a couple times, 3rd and longs, they weren't able to convert. Georgia Southern throwing the ball up a little bit more than normal.
McKinnon will keep it on a quarterback dive over the right side, and that offensive line gets a good surge. And that 3rd down percentage continues to creep up for Georgia Southern, now over 50% on the day.
And if they go down and score right here, Sean, the frustration that walking into the locker room and perhaps not getting it all together, come out here and having an explosive play once again by McKinnon to start the half, you're just not sure where this defense is going to go. They need to get a stop here real soon.
Two backs are Robinson and Bryant. They will give it to Dominique Swope over the right side, trying to push ahead. Much better job defensively there by Central Arkansas as they bring him down. Jackson and Allison pick up of close to 5 yards on first down. From the 45, McKinnon with the option left. Again, keeps it. He'll pick up another first down. McKinnon ahead to the 37-yard line, and that should give him a season high now. And again, we're just getting started here in the third quarter. That 57-yard run broke it loose after they were forced to give it up on their opening drive of the game, but since that opening drive, there's been no stopping this team.
The offensive tackles for Georgia Southern have been doing a terrific job blocking on the edge, getting push on the defensive ends, either Woodard or Jester, number 42.
The 39, they will give it to the backup feedback, and hitting the hole hard is William Banks. Banks is a terrific story. The junior 5'9", 189, the former walk-on. You know, he was one of those guys a lot of people didn't know a lot about, but boy, he certainly put a name up for himself against Appalachian State this year. 3 touchdowns, filling in for the injured Dominic Swope, and here he is contributing in a big way as a backup. It's nice to have that backup source at fullback.
He does a terrific job staying on course. He's got great balance and runs that inside veer A or B gap dive so well.
McKinnon drop back. He's going to throw toward the end zone, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Central Arkansas, the game's first turnover. Carl Brady returns it all the way to the 41, and then Brady lost the football. Oh, my. And the official, the field judge there, you see him pointing. He's going to say Central Arkansas football, and the Bears get the turnover on the pick by the junior Brady.
The entire Georgia Southern bench came off, including the coaching staff, doing the right thing, thinking that they got the ball back. Great job by the receiver trying to pull that ball out. But does he have it when he goes down to the ground? Big play by Brady. Throw's not quite there. It is stripped by number 75.
That's the center, Sainamore.
And it looked like he was out for a moment, but to get back to that dual possession, we'll see if there's going to be a look upstairs in the replay booth. This could be a critical call.
The ruling on the field of the runner being down prior to the ball becoming loose is under review.
And Sean, to me, it looks like it's loose, but then the receiver tries to get back control of it. I can't really tell from the camera angle. Here's the critical part of all this. It's called on the field what? It's called Central Arkansas ball. They'll have to find some really good video evidence.
Big decision. We'll find out coming up next. Georgia Southern with the lead. Big moment early in this second half for Central Arkansas after Carl Brady intercepted the McKinnon pass. Brady was stripped, at least attempted. St. Amar, the center, came over, ripped the football away from Brady, and now they're taking a look upstairs, and Coach Bunning, as we described, the call on the field right now is Central Arkansas football, meaning there has to be evidence showing differently here, and I'm not sure we saw it.
Indisputable video evidence. And I'm not sure if you can see it from what we've seen so far.
Let's take one more look. Again, 75, St. Amar, the center. You will see him right there ripping the football, but Brady appeared to still have control of it.
The ruling on the field stands as called. First down.
And it's because of the fact that the person possessing the DB, Carl Brady, having the football, not having it totally ripped out or on the ground, he went with it to the ground with the starting center, who made a very alert play for Georgia Southern. Couldn't quite pull it off.
This has been a takeaway defense all season. The Bears come up with the game's first turnover. They enter the day a +6, and now let's see if Smothers and this offense can get some type of rhythm going. Jackie Hinton, the ball carrier, Hinton over the left side, plows to the 47. Russell in on the stop along with Stevenson. Good yardage for Hinton on first down as they continue to try to keep that running game going. Smothers lines him up quickly. Slant pattern, fires to Lewis. It's caught at the 44 of Georgia Southern.
It's been a favorite route of Central Arkansas. Double slant to the field. Lots of room for the receiver to make a good catch. Lewis, a big target.
Central Arkansas has picked up their pace a little bit as they give it to Hinton. They took their time. They always go no huddle, but they really took their time checking off in the first half. But here, a little bit of a different tempo for Smothers.
Looking to the sideline almost entirely in the first half. Now they are moving the pace. And they're down 2 scores. So it's important that they do. They just got a turnover. It's important that they get a big score here.
Quarterback draw all the way as Smothers bangs ahead. You could see the Eagles ripping away at the football, Javon mentioned, but Smothers hangs on. First down to the Georgia Southern 32.
Remember, this team has scored points, and this quarterback has played his best when they're down.
From the 32-yard line, trips right. Here comes pressure. They throw to Hinton out of the backfield, makes the catch, carries right, the defender with him all the way to the 19-yard line. Good recognition there by Smothers on the blitz.
We have the blitz coming off the edge. We have Hinton out in the flat. There's too many people out there for the cornerback to cover.
First and 10 from the 19. End zone, jump ball, too tall, incomplete, nearly picked off by Wilcox. He was looking for the 6'4 Lewis.
He was right there, Wilcox was. He just got to catch that ball with his hands. They're playing cover 2. Wilcox comes over the top, deep throw. Just got to look that ball in, and there's an interruption in the end zone for Georgia Southern.
Central Arkansas, we talked about the lack of any type of rhythm in the first half. They appear to have found that on this opening drive after the turnover. Inside the red zone, they've had to settle for 3 field goals today. To give up the middle, Hinton breaks into the secondary, stiff arms a defender, touchdown Central Arkansas. A late marker that happened way after the fact. 19 yards on the touchdown by Hinton. And as I mentioned, I got to believe this is going to stick for the Bears.
Yes, I believe so. I think we have an unsportsmanlike coming up here.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 5 on Central Arkansas. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. The touchdown is good.
Jackie Hinton with his 4th touchdown of the season. A little bit too much bite in that bear as he celebrated in the end zone with the penalty, but Finally, Central Arkansas able to find the end zone here. And now, chance to make this a one-possession game. Camara adds the point after. And how about the change in developments here in Statesboro? The interception by Brady set it up. Jackie Hinton with the touchdown run. Power running by the senior back. Santa Claus taking a break from the North Pole to enjoy this second-round matchup. Georgia Southern with the lead. ESPN College Football available live anytime, anywhere on your computer, tablet, or smartphone at watchespn.com and with the Watch ESPN app. Carl Brady with the interception. Central Arkansas, 7 plays, 59 yards, less than 2 minutes off the game clock, and it's Jackie Hinton with the touchdown run, and just like that, the Bears are back in it. 15 yards assessed here on the kickoff, so Camara will send it high and deep. Wilcox from the 10. J.J. Wilcox stretching across the field, and he is chased down at the 24, brought down by Justin Hurt.
Now they're playing special teams. That's what you do with your best players. You got to put them on those coverage units.
We've talked a lot about the tradition of Georgia Southern. Central Arkansas has been a force no matter what the level. NAIA, remember this is a program that won 3 NAIA championships in 84, 85, and 91. They made 2 trips to the Division II quarterfinals, including their final year in Division II in 2005, and now in just their 3rd year of postseason eligibility, they are in the second round of the FCS playoffs for the 2nd time, and the defense ripping away at Swope as they drop them for the loss. Hornbuckle in on the penetration along with Devin Hawkins.
Well, one thing Coach Conk said to us in the conference call is that this will be an avalanche to start this game with trying to stop this prolific offense of Georgia Southern. Let's see if they can get another stop here, and that would be a really good sign for Central.
McKinnon on the option keeper, ducks to the secondary. It's a foot race. Brady, Winston finally chase him down, but not before McKinnon runs all the way to the 22-yard line. Jarek McKinnon now over 200 yards on the afternoon.
As McKinnon runs to the perimeter there is a critical block on the middle linebacker, Justin Hurd. Watch Hurd try to hurdle it right there. Got to find a way to get a better organization out there on the perimeter to take care of that quarterback. It's quarterback first. It's quarterback first, pitch last.
52 yards on the run. It's his 3rd carry of 50-plus today as they go back to the grinder Swope. You mentioned, Coach, quarterback first.
Absolutely. We heard on the phone call that, and of course, anybody that defends option football, you got to take away the dive back. The dive back's not hurting them right now. It is the quarterback, clearly. So if you want to take away that B-back, that fullback, fine. But you better get people to the quarterback. The option part of it has not hurt you today. It's been all Jerick McKinnon.
Career high afternoon for McKinnon, the junior. 5'9" junior, having a field day here today. Second down, he will duck over the right side, and he is met by Hurd. Also jumping on the pile there, a good one-on-one tackle was their backup down tackle. Remember, it's a banged-up defensive line for Central Arkansas. That's Larry Duvall, the 6'2" senior. No Justin Williams. Gaines has moved from DN to the interior, and Jeremy Jester now one of those outside ends. Third down. I have a feeling this might be 4-down territory. 3rd and 3 from the 17. Robinson in motion. They pitch it his direction. Gets to the outside. Robinson to the 10. Lowers the shoulder pads to the 6-yard line.
Sprinkling in some toss sweeps to the A-backs. They come in short motion. Once again, getting out there to the edge. Too many people to block the defenders, and he can get free will down the sideline.
See the red zone percentage today for Georgia Southern. Leading by 8, trying to add to the total. 1st and goal. McKinnon, on what might have been a busted play there, he falls ahead for a yard, maybe 2. I'm always hesitant to say a busted play with this offense because there's so many different variations.
It looks like they're running the midline where the quarterback tries to step back and give it to the fullback right there behind the center's block. Good penetration by Central Arkansas prevented any gain.
McKinnon picked up a yard. See that play clock down to 7. McKinnon hands it off. Central Arkansas plug in the middle. And this will bring up 3rd down. Jackson in on the tackle, and the interior, TJ Randall, Duvall getting the job done.
2 straight plays trying to test the middle of the Central Arkansas defense. No go. What do you think what's coming next there, Sean? Do you think the quarterback's going to be out here in the perimeter? That would be my guess.
If I'm Jester Woodard, you know it's coming. The 2 ends for Central Arkansas.
You just don't know which direction he's going, but you better play this quarterback.
From the 5, McKinnon's going to try to go right. Dancing in some trouble, and he's thrown for a loss. Back at the 10-yard line, Justin Love lending support from his safety position.
That's another stop. That is critical for this defense to get that stop. I don't care if it's a kick or if it's downs, it doesn't matter. A lot of people there. They're continuing to play. They're one of their leading tacklers, Justin Love, a very relentless football player, coming from the secondary in to make the stop.
Alex Hanks on for his 2nd field goal attempt. This will be from the near hash, 27 yards on the hold by DeMasi. Good snap, good placement. Kick is up, and he pushed it to the left. No good. Hanks, who hit from 40 in the first half, unable to knock it through, and Georgia Southern keeps that 8-point lead. Bears will have the football when we come back.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NCAA for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any picture, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NCAA's consent is prohibited.
24-16, Georgia Southern on top. The Central Arkansas program trying to get back into this football game. They were able to punch it in for the first time, mixing in the run with the pass, Coach.
Let a little power O. A little pass once again to Hinton out in the flat. And then they run a blitz. Georgia Southern does, away from the run that was called, which allows Hinton to escape into the end zone.
Hinton has led this Central Arkansas team the last 2 years in rushing. Second team all-conference player a season ago. Played 3 games at Houston before redshirting and finding a home at Central Ark. Quick screen pass, Grandy. Pushed out of bounds, minimal gain as Grandy gets 3, maybe 4, little jawing back and forth. That's his style. Jesse Grandy plays with a high motor. The transfer from Mississippi.
Good tackling the catch, holding that catch to 2 yards. That will win for you. That's a win on first down.
2-by-2 stack here. They're stacking the receivers right and left. First time they have showed this look on second down. Smothers with good protection. Fires near side, and a juggling catch is made. Grandy's able to hang on to it. Steps out of bounds at the 39-yard line. 17 yards to the junior, Jesse Grandy.
This stack alignment allows the first receiver to the outside to run downfield and the second receiver, Grandy, to break to the outside with no defense there.
I'm going to go back to the tempo, Coach. Central Arkansas is really upped it here in this third quarter. They are not waiting at all. And this time, DeBose doesn't wait. Dion DeBose with the sack.
What a play. It just didn't look like the rest of the Central Arkansas offense was ready for the snap. That's a big TFL.
Loss of 4 back to the 35-yard line for DeBose. That's his 4th sack of the season. Team's leading tackler back in the 2009 campaign. Suffered that terrible knee injury. It cost him the playoffs the last couple of years. It's the first Georgia Southern sack of the day. Smothers, sideline, deep, looking for Kroom. Double coverage, Wright and Eubanks. And it will be 3rd and long.
Georgia Southern goes to a more of a prevent type of style of defense. 3 down linemen drop Dion DeBose, their defensive end, into coverage, which allows more secondary players to play the deep ball.
They have struggled today on 3rd downs. The slant pattern has been their friend this afternoon. 3rd and 14. Pressure comes over the middle, incomplete. They had that double slant going again with Soft and Grandy. Good coverage. And a big stop there by the Georgia Southern defense.
So Smothers knows he only has a certain amount of time to get this ball off. Watch the cross stunt there between DeBose and the linebacker, Obeck. Nice little design of that stunt with the package with the linebacker and the defensive end.
Kevin Buford on the punt for the 4th time. It's a good kick away. Spiraling deep kick on the back pedal. Robinson surveys and is taken down at the 17-yard line. Justin Hurd is all over the place.
On the coverage units, that young man is a football player right there now.
Kansas State's fantastic regular season comes to a close with a must-win finale in Manhattan as Colin Klein and the Wildcats look to secure a Big 12 title, an automatic BCS bid against Case McCoy and the red-hot Texas Longhorns. Saturday Night Football presented by Windows 8. Number 18 Texas versus number 6 Kansas State. Saturday, 8 o'clock on ABC, all part of Championship Week. Longhorn team playing good football in the second half of the season. A lot of people had written them off. Georgia Southern goes back to the ground. So take a look at the Eagles here in this third quarter and their possessions. An interception, a punt, a missed field goal. Those are all touchdowns in the first half, struggling here in the third.
Once again, the Central Arkansas defense is starting to find their way a little bit. I know one guy that's got to be a little tired, and that is that middle linebacker, Justin Hurt. He's been involved in all the plays.
McKinnon on the keeper, stretches ahead and breaks into the clear. McKinnon to midfield. Jarrett McKinnon to the 34-yard line. Finally escorted out by Rodarius Winston.
Got a flag down, Sean. Not sure what it is.
Back at the 35, a late marker. Duvall, the down tackle, not even moving, so it must be coming back.
Holding. Number 75 on the offense. It's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat second down.
The sophomore Man Ray Sainamore with the holding call.
You watch here as the play continues. McKinnon, for the most part, he has broken that tackle right there of Love. 75, our center, is nowhere near the play, but it's got to be called. If it's seen by a referee, he's got to call it. He's not on the camera.
Penalties have really hurt Georgia Southern today. Remember, they had a touchdown pass called back in the first half, and now wipe out the long run by McKinnon.
Very costly. But it's second down, and they didn't go all the way back. They still have a second and short situation here down in distance.
McKinnon with the pitch. Robinson using his speed to the corner, stays in bounds. He'll pick up the first down. Brought down by the secondary personnel, Marvin Mitchell. Mitchell in there after missing the last few weeks with a broken forearm. It was a very physical game against McNeese State earlier this year, and Mitchell was one of two guys they lost in that rotation, but good to see him back in uniform and on the field.
Very close win for Central Arkansas against McNeese. Very physical game, as you said.
From the 31-yard line, Swope met at the line of scrimmage, and there is Seth Allison. What a great story. Allison, the linebacker, has went from walk-on to college graduate to, in 2 weeks, recipient of a master's degree.
It's a pretty good story.
Sprinkle in a couple of all-conference honors as well.
His daddy was a big-time football player. Smallest, they say, in the family, but he's out there battling every play.
That will be the final play of the third quarter. So it's a one-possession game as we head to the fourth. The perennial power, Georgia Southern, the young fledgling program in Central Arkansas. 15 minutes to decide it. Eagles lead by 8.
There are over 400,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
Welcome back to Polson Stadium. We are in Statesboro, Georgia. Second round FCS action. Central Arkansas gets the lone points in that period. The touchdown by Jackie Hinton. One possession game as we start this fourth and final quarter. 2nd and 11 from the 29. Hurd creeps up, shows blitz. McKinnon's going to run to the short side, and like he has done all afternoon, he finds room across the 40. Jerick McKinnon now with 280 yards rushing today on 26 carries.
Yeah, at the end of the third quarter, it looks like he's 9 carries for over 100 yards in that quarter alone. So they have not solved that problem. Swope has not been an issue. Now I see McKinnon with a little hitch in his giddy-up right now. And I saw that at App State where he hurt an ankle or a knee. But you have to watch that.
Boy, he really is favoring it. Limping up to the line of scrimmage. Could be fatigued, too. He has been running wild. They're going to pitch it. They give it over to Bryant again, running to the short side. He is knocked out of bounds by Best.
Just great blocking out there on the edge into the boundary by this Georgia Southern. Slot backs, wide receivers. As I said earlier, their offensive tackles have done a terrific job. The whole offensive line has done a great job up front.
From the 47. Swope directly behind McKinnon. They will run the option. Jerick McKinnon stretching. He's going to try to reverse direction, cut up field, and pick up the first down. Falls onto the Central Arkansas side. Again, the patience by Jerick McKinnon as we take a look back and find out how we got to this point. 24-16, Georgia Southern with the lead. Career high day for McKinnon at quarterback. See Central Arkansas well below their season average. And the Eagle offense missing some opportunities in the second half. They cashed them all in the first half, but a little bit of a different story. The missed field goal and the interception here in the second half. Dominique Swope on first down. Chopped down up to the 42.
He's tripped up by Justin Hurd after a gain of 4.
Georgia Southern 8-3 on the season. Co-champions in the Southern Conference for the second straight year. 19th playoff appearance since this program was restarted back in 1982. Using every single second off that play clock. 2nd and 6. McKinnon on the right. He will pitch late, first down. Good stretch there to Trey Butler. Butler to the 28-yard line, and it's another Georgia Southern first down.
Just watch the play call here, the design, block on the edge, holding off to the last second, pitching the ball out accurately. Great ball handling. Well done by Georgia Southern.
Butler has not been used a lot this year. Change of pace junior out of Stockbridge, Georgia. Did not play last year, just the 7 carries on the season coming into this one. And we have a stop in the action, not quite sure what this is about.
Appears to be an official's timeout to check on something.
The ruling on the field on the last play was that the pass was backward and caught and thus legal. This play is under further review.
Going to take a look at the pitch and to see if indeed it was a backwards pitch. And I don't know. You look at those two different angles there. The first angle certainly made it look like it possibly could have been a forward pitch.
Absolutely. I guarantee they were getting some help over in there on that Central Arkansas sideline to call that.
We could take maybe one more look at this as McKinnon pitches at the last second. Let's see, right about the 41 and a half. Pitches at the 41.5. Butler holds it in around the 40.
It's where the ball goes to. It's where the ball is pitched forward or back. And I'm looking for the marker, and I'm looking for the sideline, looking for the line of scrimmage on that picture, and it's hard to see it.
And obviously, again, Central Arkansas wanting the check here, because if it is a forward pass, that would be an illegal forward pass.
The ball would come back, absolutely.
Since McKinnon was past the line of scrimmage. So they are taking a look at it upstairs. Our second booth review of the afternoon. We saw a call earlier stand.
The same thing applies here. If the ruling on the field is that it was legal, now it goes back. It's got to be indisputable video evidence. So they've got to be able to see it.
And judging by our evidence, we think there's enough there.
There's some doubt in my mind. I think this will stand.
This is the first time we've disagreed all year, Coach.
It's been a pleasure working with you there, boss.
It's been a lot of fun. What a great time following the FCS playoffs. Last week we were in Brookings, South Dakota State, and Eastern Illinois, and we jumped up about 50 degrees in temperature on our trip down here to Statesboro.
Yes, we did. Great atmosphere here. They love their football up there in Brookings as well.
So the discussion continues here.
They're playing North Dakota State today.
Correct.
And they had lost to them about 2 weeks ago, 20-17, if I remember right. And they played really, really hard last week against Eastern Illinois.
Everybody gunning for the reigning champs, North Dakota State, the Bison. That's a difficult venue to play in, as Georgia Southern found out last year at the Fargo Dome.
Well, this is why some folks really don't like replay, because it slows the game down and takes some time, but you got to try your very best to get it right. It is a hard game to call, believe me. I've been in some of those meetings with officials and watch what they have to look at. And when you see it in real time, real speed, it's even faster. It's a lot easier to watch things in a slow, instant replay.
Jeff Gray has taken off his headset. He's chatting with Gene Higgins right now. Also Mike Hill. And let's see what the verdict will be here.
If they overturn it, they got to find out where they're going to put it.
After further review, the ruling on the field is that the pass was forward and thrown from beyond the line of scrimmage. This is a foul from the 41-yard line. Be a 5-yard penalty from the 41. To loss of down. It'll be 3rd down and 9 at the 46-yard line.
Central Arkansas and the defense now with that call, a chance to turn away Georgia Southern. That's a loss of down on the illegal forward pass. So the Eagles, instead of having it deep in Bear Country, instead looking at 3rd and 9 once they get everything situated and the ball marked properly.
I do want to see where it's actually going to end up here. They're talking about the 41. That's a long ways back.
Get a good look at Jeff Munkin there, 13-year assistant to his mentor, Paul Johnson. Spent 5 years as an assistant here at Georgia Southern. His teams during that era, 62-10. A couple of FCS national championships, 5 Southern Conference championships. And he followed Coach Johnson to the Naval Academy, spent 6 years at Navy, a couple of years at Georgia Tech, and then found the home here at Georgia Southern. And the Eagle Nation really embraced him, excited with that triple option philosophy and his history with this program.
And you talk about passion once again. Coach Conk's got it. Jeff Munkin's got it for his players and his program in Georgia Southern.
Back to the 46 we go, 3rd down and 9. McKinnon's going to throw, sprints left, steps, fires as far downfield as he can, incomplete. Looking for Walker, good coverage on the play. The safety was over there, Justin Love. And Georgia Southern will be forced to punt.
They made that big play in the first half with Walker. Very incidental contact. Safety's over the top of the cornerback. Safe play stop for Central Arkansas. This is what they needed. They needed another stop. They got it.
Luke Cherry has been a good punter this season, pinning the opposition deep. 11 kicks inside the 20. He'll try to do that here. Bouncing kick around the 20 takes a Central Arkansas hop, and it will be touched at the 20-yard line. 34-yard punt by Luke Cherry. Central Arkansas will send their high-powered offense on the field when we come back. Eagles lead it late here in the fourth quarter. The Eagle Freedom getting a little antsy here. Georgia Southern with a 24-16 lead, 12:19 to go in the fourth quarter as we check the second round scoreboard from the FCS championship. The Jackrabbits of South Dakota State leads by 3 up at the Fargo Dome. Wofford has extended their cushion 23-7, and it's a shootout as Old Dominion has just scored. They go up 42-35 on Coastal Carolina.
They got some firepower there at ODU. Taylor Heineke.
So now Mr. Captain comeback, Winrick Smothers. He's engineered a couple of fourth quarter comebacks this year as they start from the 20-yard line.
You know, Sean, each of these teams have had close games and won them. Beating Sam Houston State back in October. They won, being 2 scores behind, came back and won 24-20. They beat McNeese State 27-26.
Yeah, they were down 9 with 1:10 to go against McNeese. Over the middle, pass behind Kroom, but he makes a tremendous adjustment.
Circus catch. Young people out there, watch how this young man catches with his hands. Watch this catch. It's behind him, not a great throw, but athletic ability, great hand there. Eye-hand coordination, I can't say it, but I can see it.
29 yards. Dominic Kroom on that catch. On the Georgia Southern side at the 49. Looks like they want to set up the screen. Now he fires incomplete. Nobody home. Looks like that had screen written all over it, but Smothers could not spot anybody open downfield.
Sometimes the best throw is just to throw it out of bounds. Don't take any chances. You're at midfield. Plenty of time. 1 score down.
Central Arkansas riding a 6-game winning streak into the postseason.
Brent Russell out there waving his arms, trying to get the crowd jacked up.
Smothers on a quarterback keeper, scoots to the outside, pushed out of bounds by Darius Eubanks. We talked about the dual threat capability of Winrick Smothers. 31 touchdowns, 9 interceptions this season. He's rushed with today's totals for over 400 yards. What a year for the Walter Payton Award finalist. Now he's looking into the teeth of this Georgia Southern crowd in defense. 3rd and 5.
Big downhill here for them. 3rd and 5. They've got a free safety in the middle of the field. I suspect some kind of pressure coming here. There it comes.
They bring it. They pick it up. Smothers downfield. Grandy, the speedster, just beyond his outstretched arms. Incomplete, and he had a step.
They knew what they wanted to do versus the pressure in the closed middle of the field with the free safety. Get Grandy out there one-on-one with the corner and just time it up. Away from the safety. Couldn't quite connect. Deion Stanley, the nickelback, on the coverage.
4th down. Clint Conk does not want to give the football back to this ball control offense of Georgia Southern. 4th and 5, and listen to this place now. Pressure comes. Smothers runs away from it, trying to buy some time. Floats it deep downfield. Incomplete. He had Brett Soft all by himself. But because of the pressure, he could not get enough on the throw.
He could not set his feet and throw downfield. He clearly had Soft open early. Probably did not see him because coverage had been dropped.
Oh boy, Soft all by his lonesome. You've had that look a few times, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Well, it's now back on the Bear defense. Georgia Southern wants to run the clock. And with the penalty procedure, that's not a good way to get started.
False start. Number 58 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
That is the 7th penalty today for Georgia Southern. They've been some costly ones. 7 penalties now, 55 yards for the Eagles. That time it was the right tackle, Garrett Fry. He's the only lineman on that offensive front wall who has started every game this year. They've been that banged up.
They have done a terrific job taking care of the edge.
McKinnon, and a good one-on-one tackle there by Justin Love. You're not going to fool this guy too much in open space. Love, out of West Memphis, Arkansas, able to bring down Jerick McKinnon.
Hey, watch this tackle by Justin Love. Watch him move his feet, never plants his feet, keeps him running, chests up McKinnon. That's a great tackle. That's how you do it.
Love with 77 tackles on the season. He's actually 3rd in school history in interception returned for touchdown. He's returned 3 in his career. 12 interceptions for the former freshman of the year in the Southland Conference. Here is Swope. Dodging and diving close to midfield. Setting up an all-important 3rd down here with 9:40 to go.
Brings up 3rd down and 5 for the Eagles.
Who's going to come up with the play?
Walker comes in, number 9, one of their key receivers. I would think that they would keep this on the ground, do it what they've been doing best, and that's run McKinnon.
From the 49, they put Bryan in motion. McKinnon's going to throw, pressured up the middle by Hornbuckle, and McKinnon is forced to throw it away.
Now maybe he's thinking 4 downs. I don't think so. He's going to punt this football.
Matt Hornbuckle, the junior, transfer from Buffalo, had penetration that time.
Surprised at the call. Very surprised at the call. And I don't know McKinnon's health right now. This young man has been running. He has been working hard all game long.
24 first-half points for Georgia Southern, but they have been shut out by Central Arkansas here in the second half. And again, the Bears will get the football. Kick on the way by Cherry. Angled toward the near side. Perfectly done by the special teams unit as it goes out of bounds at the 12-yard line. 39 yards on the punt by Luke Cherry. Central Arkansas will get the ball when we come back. Bears trail by 8 here in Statesboro. Beautiful late afternoon here in Statesboro. Paulson Stadium, what a home venue for Georgia Southern. Many a times the playoffs have rolled through here and the Eagles have soared. 32-3 here at Paulson throughout the years in playoff games, trying to add one more here this afternoon. But I'll tell you what, how about the second half effort by Central Arkansas? Scratching and clawing their way, putting themselves in a position possibly tie it here late. 88 yards away from where they need to be from the 12-yard line. Smothers today will hand it off to Hinton up the middle. Not much there.
It's actually a quarterback run there with Smothers taking it himself, picking up a few, just a couple.
Smothers 10 carries, 60 yards in this football game, throwing the ball 14 of 35 for 205 yards. Has not made a mistake. No interceptions, no touchdowns though either.
Where the Georgia Southern secondary is down close to the line of scrimmage.
Smothers under pressure. Hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. Again, the pressure coming right through the middle. Justin Ejike, the backup tackle that time, the sophomore out of Covington, Georgia. Newton City High School had a hand on Smothers.
They've got this package going with a three-man line. There's mention number 52. He's a defensive end. Normally, he's dropping back in coverage. Great rush by Ejike. Confusion up front, and I don't see that very often watching this Central Arkansas offensive line.
3rd down and 9. They have the two linebackers. Let's see if they send them. They do. Smothers fires deep downfield. Caught at the 50-yard line. What a catch by Desmond Lewis. Had the one-on-one coverage. 38 yards and a first down.
This is what we've seen him do before. You take enough shots like this, man-to-man coverage with Westbrooks, outleaps him. It's 6'4" versus 6'0". Wow, what a play.
New life for Central Arkansas. See that clock, still plenty of time, inside 8 minutes to go. Play fake, Winrick Smothers, deep ball, home run threat, Kroom, and he dropped it, incomplete. right through the wickets of Dominique Kroom.
Got behind Nick Wright. This secondary is held up all day. Couple plays deep. Behind the secondary, hits him in the hands. Can't pull it in.
Those are plays you have to make if you're to knock off a power like Georgia Southern.
You're wondering where the help is on that particular coverage with the corner.
Second down, they set up the screen, nobody home. Incomplete.
Willie Matthews was scheduled to get out there, but I'm not sure where that ball was directed. Guess what? Brings up another third down.
They need to get it to the 40-yard line. Soft and Kroom split to the right.
Sun's starting to set here. They're going to bring pressure again.
Randy and Lewis to the top. Smothers dodges.
Here's the
He's
problem.
going to try to run. 45 stretches the football ahead. Pursued by Olbeck. And this will all depend on the spot. And it looks like from the initial angle, he's going to be about a yard shy, setting up a 4th and 1. Kyle Olbeck showed pretty good closing speed here to give him the shove.
4th and 1. What a ball game.
Play of the game coming up right here. See Central Arkansas, they came in pretty tough on 4th down, leading the country, but 0 for 2 today. And now we have a whistle and I believe a timeout taken.
See, this is what Smothers can do for an offense, and he can run with the football.
The ruling on the field is out of bounds, short at the line to gain. The play is under further review.
They're going to take a look upstairs to see if Smothers indeed stretched that football past the first down marker before that foot went out of bounds.
See him exactly what he's doing right there. That's heads up, savvy football. Where is the ball when his left foot hits out of bounds? I believe it's in front of the marker. When the left foot hits, where's the ball? It looks like it's on the 40. Well, we're glad we have replay. Once again, I'm going to say it again. It's good for the game. These critical games, these playoff games, which are so exciting here in FCS, you get the opportunity to try to do your very, very best to get it right.
You take one more look at it. Smothers with that right hand stretching the football, foot out of bounds there. Football up near the 40.
It's just short of that 40-yard stripe, isn't it?
4th down.
Okay.
You heard the microphone cut out there, but you could catch the tail end of it. You can probably judge by the facial expression from Clint Conk.
And clearly, they looked at it at the 39, the 41-yard line, I should say. So it brings up this 4th down. We've already put up the graphic. 88% conversion for them.
The game might hinge.
They're covering the guards.
And now we have a penalty. I think a couple of guys were moving up front.
Ball starts. Number 10 on the offense. The 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
Oh my.
Thomas Hart, the backup tight end, with a dagger there.
He also is the one that dropped the touchdown pass. Now, they shift into a Bear defense to cover the guards and see what 10 does. Watch him shift down.
There's the flinch.
Moves his head.
Oh, boy. So now Central Arkansas not wanting to roll the die with 4th and 6. They will call on Buford to make the punt here. Gets the kickoff. Robinson with the fair catch, sprinting toward the far side, and he holds it in. We talked about the killer penalty for Georgia Southern. Well, Central Arkansas just stole one right there.
Absolutely. Game of inches, game of flinches.
Game of concentration, no doubt about it. Georgia Southern trying to hang on and move into the quarterfinals next weekend. Sean Kenny alongside John Bunning. Welcome back to Paulson Stadium. Georgia Southern on top. The 6 national championship banners flying, and at stake today, a berth in next weekend's quarterfinals. Old Dominion, Coastal Carolina in a shootout. Here the two defenses settling down in the second half as Georgia Southern starts from the 12-yard line, and on the give, McKinnon somehow spins out of trouble. How on earth did he stay on his feet? McKinnon up to the 20-yard line. Looked like he was dead to right there, but he somehow spun out of harm's way.
Watch this from behind. McKinnon starts to give it to Swope, and he pulls it out at the last second. That's how that happened. That's remarkable. That's showing some real football split-second decision-making.
Georgia Southern, 471 yards of total offense today.
Great camera work, by the way. Got it down there, guys. Terrific.
McKinnon will keep it. First down yardage, and that's what this is all about now for Georgia Southern. Chew the clock, pick up some first downs, leading by 8. McKinnon crosses the 300-yard plateau. 311 yards rushing. What a day for the junior quarterback. Do you think this coaching staff knew what they were doing when they moved this guy from the secondary to the slot to the quarterback position back in week 4?
Incredible. This was the thought process to get this guy to carry the football for him, and he's carrying the team today.
They will give it to Swope over the left side. Dominique Swope with good yardage. They'll take 6-7 yards every time on a fullback dive. Allison brings them down. If you're Central Arkansas, do you take a few more shots defensively here with the clock moving, 5 minutes to go?
Well, you're just not sure where you can pressure. Where can I blitz? I blitz this B gap, this side, that side. You just don't know, because if the quarterback pulls it and you're wrong, then he's in for another big game. You've got to just, I think, settle on stopping the quarterback.
You will continue to see excellent clock management here by the Eagles. That play clock down to 3, 2, and 1 when they take the snap. McKinnon nowhere to go, and he's just going to tuck it in up to the 36-yard line. Down by DJ Willis. This will set up a very important 3rd and short. 3rd and a long yard.
This is what this offense likes. just about the same field position. On a 3rd and 4, we saw McKinnon throw. Wasn't sure about that particular call, but this is a different distance.
Georgia Southern 5 of 11 on 3rd downs today. They hand it off to Swope. 1st down, Eagles. He's hit hard by Love, but he's past the marker. Georgia Southern gets another 1st down. More time coming off the clock. Again, here's what's at stake as we take a look at the brackets in the FCS. Winner of this game will take on the winner of Old Dominion and Coastal Carolina. And you see the 4th-seeded Old Dominion squad opening it up a little bit. North Dakota State, the reigning champs, have also taken the lead on South Dakota State. Wofford holding firm over New Hampshire. Pieces of the puzzle starting to fit a little bit as Banks gets the call. This playoff format's great, isn't it, Coach?
Oh, I just absolutely love it. It's so exciting.
It's going to expand even more next year. 20 teams now. It's going to expand out to 24.
Central Arkansas takes the timeout.
Get a good look at the Bears. Central Arkansas. What a job they have done handling the transition, and that was one of the questions that we posed to Clint Conk was, how'd you get this done? I mean, you were a quarterfinalist in Division II in 2005, and then your very first year at the Division I level, you put together a winning record. And he was very clear on how he thought he was able to get it, and it all started with support from his administration.
Absolutely. Very similar to what takes place here at Georgia Southern. Get support from the president and the AD. They make the full commitment to go to the full scholarship level right away, which helps them become important and somebody to be contended with right away in their program.
2nd down after the timeout. This is McKinnon. Submarines to the 46. See if the Bears use a timeout here, and it looks like they will, so they will call their second timeout. You mentioned the scholarships. Central Arkansas did it the right way. They went from their 36 all the way up to 63, which is the full allotment of scholarships at the FCS level. There is no working up. You'll see a lot of programs go from 36 to 40 to 50 and then finally get to the 63. Not the case with the Bears.
And they built a new facility. Anybody's been out there to watch them on the striped fields.
The purple and gray.
Purple and gray stripes. That's incredible to watch on tape. It makes me dizzy. But it's a great marketing device. They have one of the premier football facilities in FCS. They built 12 luxury boxes out there for this football program. So they are being embraced both by the community and the administration at Central Arkansas. This is a program on the rise. Georgia Southern, the tradition just reeks of legendary stature.
Central Arkansas needs a stop right here. 3rd down and 5 for Georgia Southern from the 46. The tight end Sumner goes in motion. McKinnon on a sprint right, trying to stretch the field, and he is chopped down. Shy of the 1st down. Good pursuit by the Bear defense, and this will bring up 4th down.
I mean, you see an entire defense that's probably in about their 80th play, still playing hard. That is really awesome to watch. 11 guys to the football. They are all around McKinnon at the end. And I dare say it. McKinnon, he's going to be a little tired tonight, you think?
You talk about a bend but don't break mentality. Here is Georgia Southern right near the 500-yard plateau for total offense, yet they have not scored a single point in the second half.
Incredible. You've done a terrific job adjusting that out. Once again, looking at McKinnon, that is one tired football player.
34 carries, 316 yards for Jerick McKinnon.
Had the opportunity to meet him yesterday, Sean. As good a football player as he is, what a gentleman in and around that football office.
McKinnon hopping on that phone maybe for the final time here today if his defense does the job. And that's what it's on right now. Central Arkansas will get the football. Very dangerous Jesse Grandy is awaiting the kick. Tremendous kick here by Cherry. Inside the 5. And it's surrounded by Eagles.
And you always tell the punt returner, don't back up beyond the 5 to catch the ball. He played out the rule, but he got a terrific kick. The ball hit on the 4 and bounced back.
The famous bald eagle, as they call them around here, Irk Russell. What a character, what a legend here in these parts for Georgia Southern. His famous motto, just one more time, fellas.
And that's what it's going to take. There's the statue.
And you see the T-shirt and those holes in the T-shirt. You see it shredded. That's the way it was. His final game in 1989, right before the national championship, he ripped off his sweater, showed his guys the T-shirt, filled with holes and tears. Just one more time. Can the Eagles come away with a stop here? Central Arkansas goes to the air. Incomplete, looking for Brett Soft's second down. 83, 22-1 in his years here at Georgia Southern. Brought football back after a 40-year hiatus. Just on every piece of signage here at the stadium, they have an avenue named after him. What a man. What a motivator.
Pretty special place, this Statesboro, Georgia, and Georgia Southern.
Smothers from the end zone, dances, floats, looking downfield for Hinton, some contact. Let's see if the markers come, and they do. Hinton was banged into before the ball arrived. That's a mismatch. Mention trying to keep up with Hinton. And it will be an interference call.
And you look at this coverage. Defensive end versus Hinton. It's a little bit of a mismatch. He stuck with him. Just not used to being in coverage and getting his head turned back around. That's asking a lot out of a defensive end, but when you pressure like that, that's what's going to happen. A defensive end will drop into coverage. So it gets him out from the 5-yard line. A little bit better field position. No timeouts for Central Arkansas.
Georgia Southern rushes 4. Smothers feels it. He'll take off and run. First down. And a good tackle made by Eubanks as Smothers had spotted the sideline. He was going to have a clear path there, but able to stretch out, get a hand, and trip him up.
That is a great open field tackle.
Couple of fourth quarter comebacks engineered by Smothers this year.
Georgia Southern not ready.
On the quick snap, flags all over the place, and the pointing begins.
False start.
Holy smokes.
71 on the offense.
Oh, wow.
5-yard penalty. First down.
That's Cole Carruthers, one of the leaders on this offensive line. Carruthers, the sophomore, and Corey Howard, the two consistent factors on this offensive line all season. In fact, Howard was named the Offensive Lineman of the Year in the Southland Conference, the center.
Well, the clock had stopped to move the chains, and they just didn't get set.
Slant pattern, Lewis makes the catch. Lost the football late. Let's see. They're going to say he was down at the 37-yard line. Recovered by Stevenson and Stanley. Let's take another look.
You can't say this game hasn't had its number of close calls. Ball's coming out. The ball's coming out before his knees hit.
Georgia Southern.
The previous play is under review.
Wanting this one challenged. And
clearly caught. He took 2 steps with the ball, and as he got hit big time right there.
Okay, still has possession. Still has possession. Knee not down yet. It looks like the ball's coming free there.
Ball's
You're
coming
right.
out.
The hit delivered by Nick Wright. We've seen strange things through the years, but judging by that visible evidence, it looks like maybe the first turnover of the night for Central Arkansas might cost them possibly their season.
I would think so.
One more look at it. There you see Wright with the impact.
You can see why it's so hard to call.
Right there. Looks like the football has separation from the hand before that first knee goes down.
That's how I look at it, John. It's hard.
Anxious moments right there for Clint Conk. You know, he described this week after last year's experience, they had to travel to Montana, which is another proud tradition at this FCS level. He said, we played the Mount Rushmore of the FCS last year. We're playing the best of the FCS this year in Georgia Southern in this venue. It's a game of inches, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Always has been, always will be, and with the focus on these replays, it just adds another dimension to it. And once again, the football players are getting so much more talented. They start earlier. The receivers, the running backs, they're just so talented. Georgia Southern has played a whale of a ball game defending this prolific offense today. And Central Arkansas has done a terrific job in this second half preventing points from going on the board, John.
Yeah, you look at this second half, we've just seen one score, and that was the touchdown run by Jackie Hinton. If you're just joining us, it looked like it might be a blowout early. Georgia Southern had the option offense cranking on all cylinders, but the interception by Carl Brady kind of stemmed the tide a little bit for Central Arkansas. They put together their most impressive drive, capping off that turnover with the touchdown by Hinton. And now here, possibly losing the football on a fumble as they try to march it down the field. We mentioned Irk Russell and the statue and his history here. What would he think of all these replays?
I think he'd be encouraged by the process and what it's taken to get to this point.
You know, he was famous for getting a bloodied forehead from banging into helmets as a motivation. He might be banging into TV monitors with these replays.
The length and the discussion, I'm sure, would get on his nerves.
And we have a final for you from Boone.
See the discussion continue. We lost Irk back in 2006 following a stroke at the age of 80, and his funeral was 2 days later right here at Folsom Stadium. Over 2,000 people in attendance to extend their respect and say their final farewell.
Remarkable man. Helped a lot of young people achieve their dreams and goals.
Here comes the call.
After further review, the ruling on the field is reversed. The ruling will be catch, followed by a fumble, recovered by Georgia Southern in the immediate ensuing action. The first down at the 36-yard line. Please reset the game clock to 2 minutes, 8 seconds.
You can see the disappointment on head coach Clint Conk, and you can see that this ball is coming out. It's on its way out. Yeah, it's close, but it's the right call.
And that's the key, the right
it's
call.
The right call.
See Lewis getting encouragement from his teammate Dominic Kroom, the senior. Could that have been his final snap? Isn't that great to see the senior Kroom going over to the youngster Lewis?
He's a sophomore. Kroom's played a lot of games for Coach Conk.
You might hear the chant echoing down below here at Folsom Stadium. One more time.
This would set up a rematch of ODU and Georgia Southern. I saw it last year, and it was exciting. This, by the way, is one of my favorite formations. Victory.
You like the victory
Yeah,
celebration?
I really do. I like that formation.
Did you finally relax when you went into victory formation on the sideline?
I still didn't want anybody around me. Get away. Get away. Wait till it's over. Wait till that clock says 0, 0, 0.
Jarek McKinnon will take a knee. Again, Central Arkansas cannot stop the clock. It's been a well-played game. Each team turned it over just once, but the last turnover has cost Central Arkansas a shot at possibly tying this game.
Central Arkansas had their opportunities. They just couldn't quite get it going to start this game. They were to slow Georgia Southern down a little bit, but give Jarek McKinnon a lot of credit. Whole team coming together to win this big playoff game.
McKinnon will drop back and go down. Crowd wanted a late hit, but he was dancing around there.
It sure was.
You're going to get that if you're not going to go down to that one knee, trying to eat some more of that clock up as we approach the 60-second mark.
Just needs to do it one more time, then it'll be over.
So Central Arkansas will see their season come to an end. Champions of the Southland Conference with Sam Houston State. 9-3 is how they will finish up. 6-1 in the Southland. McKinnon floating back, and he'll go down near midfield. Now a couple of players come together as the celebration, the party here in Statesboro is about to begin. Georgia Southern. Rumors circulating all week about a possible jump to the FBS. Speculation, could this be the final home game in this storied venue at the FCS level?
And we will just wait and see. There's a lot of chit-chat about that. New athletic director in the picture, Tom Kleinlein. It was a pleasure meeting him yesterday.
Times are changing, and Georgia Southern now thrust into the FBS talk. And as we talked about earlier, only time will tell. But if indeed this was the final time they step on the home turf, Paulson has treated them well one more time. Georgia Southern victorious. Freedom celebrating along with the rest of Eagle Nation. The tradition rolls on from Statesboro. Georgia Southern, the number 5 seed, able to outlast Central Arkansas in a hard-fought game this afternoon, 24-16. The Eagles picking up their 44th all-time playoff victory. That by far is best in the FCS level. So the brackets are starting to come together a little bit. Wofford and Georgia Southern both move into the round of 8. The quarterfinals still awaiting the outcome of the other 2 games. You see the defending champion Bison with the lead. Old Dominion has broken open what was a tight game. It's now 63-35 Monarchs. So it looks like Georgia Southern will be making the trip to Norfolk next week to take on that pass-happy Old Dominion attack.
And saw them last year. It was a shootout between both these teams. This game was extremely exciting. Both teams competing very hard. Congratulations to both. And Georgia Southern moves on. Jarek McKinnon, 316 yards rushing today.
24 first-half points, enough today for Georgia Southern. So for Coach John Bunning and the entire ESPN3 crew, I'm Sean Kenny saying so long from Paulson Stadium in Statesboro, Georgia, where your final score is Georgia Southern 24, Central Arkansas 16. To watch this entire game on replay, as well as other games in our family of ESPN networks, log on to watchespn.com or download the Watch ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Good night from Statesboro.